Hello, hello, hello. Oh, cords are all tangled. I need to dust this thing. Oh my goodness. I need to dust this damn mic. Gross. Actually, hold on. I have this right here. I'll do it while I'm talking to y'all. While we're starting this thing up. Give it a little wipe down over here. A little dusty. Oh no. Look at that. Cleaning. Shoot. I didn't realize I was muted. Must have clicked that off for a sec. I was saying I don't change my lifetime that often. I change it every few months, 3-4 months or something like that. But yeah, I usually change my lifetime because I have this thing called a job. It might be pronounced job. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I have this thing called a job, and so I sometimes my schedule changes, and when my schedule changes, uh, I change schedules here. Hi, Feisty. That's most of it. Nothing serious. Well, I get their confusion. All right, I get their confusion because I think Hob, gotcha. I get the confusion because I think a lot of people that do what I do, um, they um, they probably do this full time, not like me. So I think a lot of people, do this during the day, do it very consistently. Why does I look so? I don't look very bright right now. I don't like that. That looks a lot better. I don't know what that yellow weird light was. Must have been on accident. That looks a lot better. Yeah, I think a lot of people probably do this full time. They do this type of stuff, and I don't. So, um, yeah. So mine changes when my work schedule changes. That's all. That's all. Is it hard to do this full time? Well, it depends on how good you are. How good you are, and I don't know what kind of. I guess what kind of bills you got. I'm assuming if you're like and this is not hating on anybody. I'm not trying to. I'm really not trying to say this rudely. You know what I'm saying? But I assume if you're like a 20-year-old college kid, it's probably pretty simple. You probably don't have much to pay for. I mean, you have school. I mean, that's it. You know what I'm saying? But You don't have a you don't got kids and a mortgage and stuff, so I gotta go to work. I gotta go. I gotta work. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Yeah. So, but anyways, for the foreseeable future, this will. Well, I don't know. Foreseeable. Yeah, foreseeable because I can't foresee much of shit. So for a while, I'm gonna start around this time. We'll see how it goes. 5:37, 10, 9:37. These are work and football changes, I guess. It makes it hard for your fault. No, I've been going 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday every single day for guys, how long have I been on the 7 p.m. train? I don't even know. Months. Months and months and months. Yeah, I'm saying I'm very regular. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I am very regular. I'm on pretty much 7 o'clock Monday through Thursday, usually 7:30 a little bit later. Because I play tennis on Wednesdays. That will be the only day I'm not really sure how we're going to do things yet. But I've been doing that time for a while. So 64 years. Corey says like 8 months, maybe close to a year now. I've been doing 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Saturdays and Sundays are different. That's just whenever I get the time to get on. But yeah, Saturdays and Sundays is just whenever I can get on. That's all that is. I tried to do the 10 a.m. thing every single day. That didn't really work. Or I tried to do 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. That didn't really work. I tried to do nights Saturday and Sunday. Didn't really work. I kind of liked that 5 o'clock time that I kind of got on Sunday. I might stick with that one, depending on when the Chargers are playing. Oh, thank you. But I think the Chargers play the early game this week. And then I think they play a Saturday game the week after that. Something like that. Someone said I've been at least doing the 7 o'clock slot for 4 months, because that's how long Tad has been here. Tad's like, I've been a member for 4 months today, so I know it's been that long. Big Dog says I'm friends with Gadsden. Yo, hook it up with the tickets then, Big Dog. Hook it up with the tickets. Thank you so much, Tatted. Yeah, hook it up with the tickets then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've worked really hard to be consistent. Anyways, From now on, it'll be, well, we'll do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at 5:30. I have no idea what I'm gonna do about Wednesdays. I literally have no idea. I might have to start taking Wednesdays off. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I might try to squeeze in something, but I don't know. We'll figure out Wednesdays as we go along. Some say I like Saturday morning. I like the mornings too. It's just they're really slow, right? Really hard to get good conversation in the morning like that. So it's unfortunate, but oh, thank you guys. Like the cut? Yeah, I did get a fresh cut today. I did. It was due. I was shaggy. Oh my goodness. I am shaggy. I was shaggy. I went in today and my barber was on one. I guess he just booked some vacation to Puerto Rico someplace, and he was stoked out of his mind talking about it, which I don't blame him. Sounded like a good ass time, dude. I was like, I need a vacation to Puerto Rico. That's what I need. Like straight up. That's what I need. Thank you, Mabel. I appreciate you. Disassociate said, I finished 8 hours of studying today. Can I get a clap? Sure, sure. Golf clap. I've never studied 8 hours straight in my entire life. Like for a class. I've never done it. So that's very impressive. That's very impressive. I've never studied straight for 8 hours for anything in my entire life. Like I made it all the way through grad school without ever studying for 8 straight hours. Like it just never happened. Now I've written for about 8 straight hours. I've written papers for about 8 straight hours, like just in a row, just going to town. But never just studied. I feel like I wouldn't even be like really like. I feel like I wouldn't even really be like even learning at that point. I feel like my brain would have just shut down. You know, I mean, you can only study for so long before your brain is just at capacity for the moment. You know what I'm saying? But I remember like doing 7 hours of writing in a row, and like my brain was like cooked. Like I'm just like you just kind of. You're sitting there just mouth breathing. You know, at that point, you're trying to put sentences together. They're not even working. It's for the bar exam. Well, that sounds like something that would take 8 hours of straight studying. Yeah. I assume if anything you need to study straight hours for, it's the bar exam. So. Yeah, I figured that was. I don't know. I had this weird like thought today about going to law school. I don't know why. I'm not gonna do it, but I just had this weird thought. You know what I'm saying? I had this weird. I don't know where it came from. I just woke up this morning and I was like, I'm gonna go to law school. And then like 20 minutes later, I'm like, no, I'm not. No, no, I'm not. No, I'm not doing that at all. Yeah, I gave up on that so quickly. like it was literally like maybe 20 minutes. It was like maybe 20 minutes, and then I was like, nah, I'm good. I said when I graduated. I said when I graduated. I said I was like, I'm not doing this again. Like I'm not going to school. I'm not like writing any more papers. I'm not taking any more, like I'm not doing it. Like I swore on myself. And like every once in a while, like I think I like my brain just for a second just goes like, you could do it. You know? Like you could do it. It'd be fine. And I could do it. I'm sure I could do it, right? Like I could physically do it. Right? But I don't want to. Look, it can't be that hard, okay? Like Pam Bondi went to law school. It can't be that hard. There's Alina Habba went to law school, okay? And I don't know that I'm smarter than everybody on the planet, but I know I'm smarter than her. Okay? Yeah, if JD Vance can get into Yale, I can do laws. Matt Gaetz, now that's a good example. Matt Gaetz is a perfect example of if that idiot can do it, then so can I. Brian, thank you so much. Hey, C's get degrees. All right, C's get degrees. Ask Trump. That's what he got. Thank you, Zazu. Red said, without any experience, I could probably beat her in win a case against her. Like without even like no law school, no bar exam. I could probably just show up. And I'm pretty sure I could take Alina Habba. That's not even a joke. I'm pretty sure I could. Like I've never tried a case. I've watched court TV. I like watching like the little court TikTok sometimes. Yeah, I've watched a whole bunch of Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Okay. A Few Good Men. I've seen that quite a few times. I want the truth. I could do that. You can't handle the truth. how dare what does he say? How dare you live under the umbrella of peace that I provide and then question the way in which I provide it? Something like that. See, I can do it. I got this. Freedom. That's right. How dare you live under the umbrella of freedom that I provide and then question the way in which I provide it? That's right. Great movie. Did you order the code red? You need me on that wall. There, dude. We're about to. Are we gonna act this out? Are we gonna act out the whole scene? Should we act out the whole scene right here? Should I play all the parts? That's what we're gonna have to do. We're just gonna have to act out the whole scene and just we'll see about the parts. You can because you're an actor? Okay, I'm not an actor. I'm not an actor. I I always thought maybe I could make it in Hollywood, but like it seems like way too much luck. I don't like putting that much luck in it, you know? If I hear a single good argument during this stream, I'll vote for him. Well, then I hope you don't, because I don't want you to vote for him in 2028. So there you go. CBT, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I really appreciate that. Looks like it went out to C. Thomas. Is that what it says? You know, to C. Thomas. W's in the chat for CBT to gift that out to C. Thomas. Yeah, exactly. If anybody's able to vote for Donald Trump in 2028, then we're all pretty screwed. All right. You might just want to learn Mandarin, move to China. Did you guys hear about that today, by the way? Donald Trump has declared that fentanyl is a weapon of mass destruction. Yeah, that's what he's declared. Now, where do all of the ingredients from fentanyl come from? See if I can give you guys a quiz. There we go. See, I knew you guys were smart. China. So, if we're going after weapons of mass destruction, where do we have to go? That would be China. Just saying. It sounds like a pretext for conflict or war with China. It's what it sounds like to me. It's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Another war of mass destruction. Going after weapons of mass destruction. We need that. It's literally 2003 all over again. It's literally 2003 all over again. It's crazy. Yeah, no new wars. No new wars, my ass. Hello?
Hello.
What's up? How's it going?
Is this Polly?
It is.
Hey, buddy. I'm Daniel, and I am a Trump supporter, and I saw your cool YouTube Shorts page, and wanted to give you a call since you said you're interested in talking to Trump supporters.
Yeah, cool. So how do you feel about Donald Trump doing 2003 all over again? I'm curious, since that's what we were talking about.
2000. Do you mean like invasion of Iraq type of thing?
That's exactly what I mean, yeah.
I don't think you should go to the Middle East.
Oh, so it's okay to do
He's gonna,
Iraq
like,
just as long as
invade.
it's not in the Middle East?
Yeah, as long as it actually helps us in our hemisphere, and I'd say yeah, probably.
Oh, and how's it going to help
If
us
I
in our
had to choose
hemisphere?
between the two of those, if I had to choose between the two of those, then I'd
You-
probably take the one that would affect us over on.
You don't
this
have to
side of
choose
world
between the
rather
two of them.
than- Well, I think I could. I think if
No,
it's
you
a-
can choose
I think
neither
if
of
it's like
them.
a foothold. I could say if it's a foothold for China into our hemisphere, I'd say restart the Monroe Doctrine and let's kick them out. Let's expand it, not just Europe. Let's keep the Chinese out too. This is our neighborhood. I don't
Oh.
want to go over to China.
So China's in our neighborhood.
Sphere of influence either. Yeah.
So China's over in our neighborhood. The Middle East, that's super far away, but China, they're in our backyard.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you need to grab a globe or something, big dog.
I don't think so. Pretty
Yeah.
sure that the Middle East is further away than Venezuela is from the
Who the fuck is talking about
Am I
Venezuela?
wrong about that?
Who's talking about
Well,
Venezuela?
we're talking about 2003 all over again. Are we not on the precipice of a regime change war? And
Sir,
Venezuela?
Donald Trump
Is
called
that what we're not talking about
fentanyl.
with the hemisphere?
Sir, Donald Trump called fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction. Where does
Yeah.
fentanyl come from?
Fentanyl comes up from Venezuela. I heard what you
Incorrect.
said about precursors.
In,
About the
in,
precursors.
sir,
Actually, it's not incorrect.
incorrect.
It's
No,
actually
that
being
is
assembled down there.
that
Nope,
it is
you're
not
wrong.
being assembled down
It's
there at
precursor
all.
chemicals coming out of China. But then you could say mustard gases, chlorine, and ammonia being mixed together. So are we going to say anybody who sells chlorine or ammonia is selling?
Are we having a
precursors
mustard
and
gas problem in the
weapons of
United
mass
States?
destruction?
Are we having a mustard gas problem in the United States that I'm not aware
Is it a
of?
weapon of mass destruction or not?
I don't think
Is
so.
mustard gas, I think it is.
It'd be a CBRN weapon.
Yeah, exactly. A weapon of mass destruction. Right?
No, those are different.
Outlawed by the Geneva Convention, right?
Yeah, there's lots of things that are
Most
outlawed by the
can't use
Geneva
chemicals.
Convention. Napalm is outlawed by the Geneva Convention. It's also not a weapon of mass destruction.
So let's not use that. Okay, what would you be
Sir,
your definition of
fentanyl,
weapons of mass
sir,
destruction?
fentanyl doesn't come from Venezuela. It's not assembled in Venezuela. It does not go through Venezuela. It's not trafficked through Venezuela. It is none of those things. If any type of drugs do come through Venezuela,
It's
it's
in,
sir.
you know what's in those barrels on those boats is precursor chemicals, right?
No, it's cocaine.
No, it's in barrels. It's not in
It's
packages. It's
cocaine.
in barrels.
It's cocaine.
They
Yep.
ship cocaine.
Sir,
in
this is
barrels.
not like a debatable topic. Okay, we're not like
Yeah,
I don't know.
no,
I don't even know
I'm
why
right.
you're even having this conversation,
You've already
sir.
lost the debate.
Well,
You've
sir,
already lost the
if you
debate.
already
It's
have to-
not a debatable,
Sir.
you've already lost it.
Yeah,
What-
sir,
what?
sir.
Go, Polly.
Literally no one, including our own intelligence agencies, our own government, our own
What would you know about what our- what would you know about what our intelligence agencies say?
sir.
Are you in
sir.
on briefings?
All right.
Are you in on the
Here's
president's
how this is going to
briefings?
work,
I
okay?
don't think you
Here's
do.
this is how this is going to work. I'm going to finish my
How's it gonna
statement
work?
and you're going to
Oh,
be
please go.
quiet.
Sorry, man. I
Okay.
didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you've done it every time I've tried to speak this entire time.
I know. That's fine. I
All right,
apologize.
so
Go ahead.
shh. How old did you say you were?
Can you speak a little more clearly?
How old did you say you were?
I'm 39.
You're 39. Awesome. Thank you. Let's try to act like it. Okay. Cool. So
Not really interested in your.
Pete
your
Hegseth said there's
moralizing
cocaine on
video.
the sir. Pete
Go ahead.
Hegseth
Go ahead.
said that there's cocaine on those boats. Okay. Secretary of
That's right. On
Defense.
some
Okay.
of them?
No,
If it's
no,
in the barrels,
no,
it's
no,
not.
no, no. Christy
Oh, sorry,
Nome
you're
said,
not.
sir, Christy Nome said it's cocaine on those boats. Donald Trump
Okay.
said it's cocaine on those boats. All of them,
Yeah.
okay? All of them all said it's cocaine on those boats, okay? And
every single
you're
boat?
saying
On every single boat?
all of those people are wrong. Yes. All of those people
They
are
said on
wrong.
every
Sir,
single
sir.
one of
All
those
right. Well,
boats
now I have
is-
to mute you because you just literally cannot act like an adult. And that's fine. All right. That's fine. I can treat you like a child if that's how you choose. Okay? Cool. So all of those people are saying there's cocaine on those boats. Okay? All of those people are also saying, including Donald Trump specifically, because he's done this with negotiations with China, saying that those chemicals are all coming from China, being assembled in Mexico, and then coming into the United States. Donald Trump has said that very, very clearly. Okay? So you making this ridiculous argument that somehow precursor chemicals are coming from Venezuela when, just to let you know, they don't even have the ability to produce those. Okay? Is just a complete fucking joke. So when Donald Trump declares fentanyl, I don't care because you're still muted. So when Donald Trump declares fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction, he is talking about, okay, literally going into war with either Mexico or China, okay, because those are the two countries in which it's produced. Okay, the chemicals in China, the assembly in Mexico. So which one of those two do you think it's better for us to go to war with?
Sorties in Mexico or war with China? Are you asking if I think that sorties against drug cartels in Mexico is preferable to full-out war with a nuclear power in China? And those are our two choices. I think I'd go with the sorties against drug cartels in Mexico.
Okay, cool. I'd go with the not having either of those wars. That'd be my preferable.
Well, you just gave me a one or the other choice.
Yeah, because Donald Trump is now giving us a one or the other choice. I would prefer to not have either of those choices, and all that had to do was just Donald Trump not declare fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction. It was literally that simple.
What I
If
would
Donald
prefer-
Trump didn't do either of those things, then we don't need to go to war with either of them.
But if
pretty simple.
I know this is like that would be a perfect situation, but if there were like in a perfect world, there would be no fentanyl trafficking, and there'd be no people dying in the streets, and we wouldn't have any reason to go into any of those countries. But
So
we're not in
awesome.
a
So you'd
perfect world.
prefer
We're
that
in
we
like
don't go to war
we're
with
trying
either
our
of them.
best to- I'd prefer that there were no drugs coming across the border.
But
and
you'd
that we
prefer
wouldn't
that we go to war
either
with
of them.
neither
Yeah.
of them, correct?
if there was no reason to go to war with either of them, that would make me super happy.
Awesome,
I'd
cool.
rather be
So
friends
you
with
are
them.
going
I'd
to
rather
say
be
you're
friends
going
with
to say
both
very
sides, buddy.
openly that you very much disagree with Donald Trump's executive order today that declared fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction.
That's a non sequitur. That doesn't follow.
It does. It completely
'Cause I'm
follows.
saying
I'm saying
that
if you
they're-
can't
I'm
follow it,
saying
sir,
that
that's on your brain, not on the logic.
You've
Okay,
lost the track, dude.
sir.
I can
Sir,
explain it
I'm
to
letting you know right
I
now.
can explain it to
I'm
you.
letting you know right now.
Go ahead.
If you have to continually say that you're winning, you're not winning.
I've said
Okay,
it-
this is like the
You have
third
to
time in this
constantly say it
conversation
to me.
that you're like, you're losing, I'm winning, sir. I don't need all of that.
I
The
haven't said-
the
I didn't
audience
say
can
that
the
just now.
audience
Did
can
I
very
say-
clearly hear
Do I
who's
have,
winning and
like, a bad
who's losing.
connection or
I
something?
don't need you to go through it for us.
Do I have
Okay.
a bad connection right now? 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell
between
you
your
that
brain cells, it sounds like.
Ooh, snip snap. Well done. So, anyways, my perfect world, nobody goes to war, no problems, right? But we're in a situation where we are getting a lot of fentanyl trafficked in here. A lot of people are taking it. They should be stopped from doing that too. But if we're getting shit shipped in and pumped into the fucking, these are like young people that are living on the streets, like degrading themselves and destroying themselves. Like, are we just say, well, the only thing we can do is like a post hoc sort of thing of like, oh, we'll put the drugs are here, so we're just going to put the drug dealers in jail, and maybe they'll get convicted, and maybe we'll put them away, but we're never going to cut the head off the snake, and then people just keep dying on the streets, like.
And what's the head of the snake?
And the people who are manufacturing.
Awesome.
and
Who's that?
pumping, or bringing drugs into the
Awesome.
the
Who's that?
country. That'd be the cartel members.
Nope. Before that, you
I
said
don't
the
think
head
we
of the
can go
snake.
with-
Where's the head of the snake?
The cartel members.
Incorrect.
So you can I could get,
Incorrect,
you could get,
sir.
like, I'm not going to
Incorrect, sir. Chat. What's the
quick,
head of the snake? Let's see if the chat
You're gonna
can
say
figure this
it's
out.
China.
Okay, because this guest doesn't want to.
China makes chemicals.
Oh,
China.
there you go.
gotta nuke
So if we cut
China.
off China, would the cartels be able to make fentanyl?
The China produces those chemicals can be used for other things than making
Sir,
fentanyl.
if we cut
The
off
fentanyl
China,
isn't being
sir,
created in China. It's
sir,
being created
if we
here.
cut off China, would the cartels be able to make fentanyl?
They could probably get the precursors from someplace else,
Where?
don't you think? Germany used to have a big
Nope.
chemical manufacturing capacity.
You think
Yeah, they
Germany's
did.
going to sell those chemicals to the cartels?
I think they've done it.
No, they haven't actually.
I think Merck actually, if you get into like serious like lore, you'll find that there's a lot of connections between those petrochemical companies and like pharmaceutical and precursor chemical
So,
companies.
sir,
in Europe, which is where most of that
I
stuff came from
understand,
originally.
sir. I don't need to get into lore. Okay, we don't need to tell folk tales over
but
here
you-
about where chemicals are coming because we know where they're coming from. They're coming from China. So therefore, the head of the
Currently.
snake, sir. So therefore, the head of the snake is China. Okay, so therefore, in order for us to cut
if
off the
those-
head of the snake, sir, in order for us to cut off the head of the snake, like you just suggested, you were suggesting that we need war with China. And I am
No, that's not what I'm
100%
suggesting at
against that
That's not
ideal.
what I'm
I don't think that
suggesting.
having
I mean,
a
you could-
full-scale war with probably
not
our
what I'm
pacing
suggesting. So I guess
pacing
you could
threat,
just,
who's
like-
a
you
nuclear.
could just, like-
All right, I'll mute you again. That's fine. Who is also a nuclear armed country. Okay, I don't think that that's a good idea, but that is what the precursor is for what Donald Trump did. Donald Trump is setting up the precursor in order for him to be able to do that. Okay, and that's why I have an issue with what he's saying.
I'll tell you what I think straight out. I won't make like veiled innuendos or anything. I'm not saying that like I want to go to war with China. You're putting that onto me. You're making the inference based on me saying that these chemicals, when combined in a specific, like under specific circumstances, come out with a really toxic chemical. But those chemicals in and of themselves aren't toxic. It's the people who put them together. Now,
I'm not making the claim of any of that. Now you're just
What did you
saying
say,
I'm
sorry?
making a claim of all these things. I'm not making a claim of any of these things. You said,
you were
sir,
saying that-
you said
you said
verbatim, sir, you said verbatim, sir, you said verbatim.
Yes.
We have to cut off
the snake.
the head of the snake.
Yes.
The head of the snake is China. No matter how hard you try to make it the cartels, okay, the head of the snake is China. And let's be very clear also, it's definitely not anybody in Venezuela.
Nobody in Venezuela is manufacturing fentanyl.
Oh, I'm sure there might be one or two, but not any type of thing that's actually affecting the United States.
Are you? I don't know, man. I think I would take. It's like we're just kind of like bouncing the ideas back and forth, and we don't really have like satellites or tracking devices.
But the
or
Coast
being
Guard
able to,
does.
like,
They
listen
said
into
this.
conversations.
The Department of Defense also said that. So no, I don't have the
Said what?
satellites, but the U.S. intelligence,
that
who
they-
actually
they-
specifically
the
releases
Department
data,
of Defense, absolutely.
the U.S. intelligence, which specifically
DoD
releases
definitely
data,
said
sir,
it.
U.S. intelligence, which specifically releases data on this, already said it. So I'm not saying, sir, that I am watching over Venezuela to see if they're producing fentanyl. I'm saying that our own intelligence is telling us that they're not doing it. Okay, so if
That's not-
our own
that-
intelligence,
that's
sir.
absolutely not
So if
true.
our
Look,
own, okay,
if
then
you
where
could-
can I
just
see, sir?
fabricating that. You're
Awesome,
making that up.
awesome. Then where can I
Nobody
see that
said
they
that.
are? Then where can I see that they are?
That every single time that there's a news conference about about one of these boats,
No, I don't want a news
they're
conference.
telling
Show
you
where an intelligence
fentanyl
agency
is on
has.
those
No,
boats.
sir, I'm
Those
not
people-
asking
the
for a
people-
news conference, sir. I'm not asking for a news conference.
There's
I'm
a-
asking you
what-
for you
do
to show
think
me.
You're getting briefs? Do you think you're getting intelligence briefs? There's no way in hell. They're going to
Sir,
give you
these-
they're going to give you a
dude,
synopsis.
The DEA, the Homeland Security, all of these people release reports on where drugs are coming from, sir. This is not a press conference. This is data that they release, okay? This is not hidden. This is not behind some closed door. It's not in a skiff.
course
They're
it
not
is.
trying to hide it from us. This is public
it
data, okay? So Homeland Security is releasing data showing that fentanyl is not coming from Venezuela. So do you have anything
the
to
precursor
dispute,
chemicals
sir?
are not
Do
coming.
you have
You're having
anything,
trouble
sir,
telling the
sir,
difference
sir,
between
sir,
precursors
sir,
and
sir,
actual
sir,
fentanyl.
sir, sir?
Go ahead.
Do you have
Sorry.
any data from anyone that disputes the claims from Homeland Security saying that it's coming from Venezuela?
Disputes the claims that it's not coming from Venezuela?
Do you
You're
have
saying
any?
the
The
Department of
Homeland Security
is saying that
releases
it's
data
not-
saying it's not coming from Venezuela. Do you have anything that disputes that?
You haven't presented that they have said that.
I literally just did.
All you just
I've done
said
it
is
3
that they
times,
said
actually.
that, but you haven't presented any data.
I actually have
You haven't
3
presented
different
any data.
times, sir.
You've made a claim. You've made the claim, right?
Sir, you've made claims
And you
for the
don't know,
last.
right?
So let me guess.
No, I know,
You
but
don't.
I'm basing mine off of
Yeah.
what the officials are saying in the government, right? So maybe like we don't like Trump.
Oh,
right?
okay.
we
So
think
we're just
Trump's
going off
a
of what
liar
Trump
or
says.
something, so
Gotcha.
he just lies
Well,
all
I'll
the
go
time.
after. I'll
So
go
he's
after
lying about
Homeland
the
Security
precursor.
data. You go off of what Trump says. We'll see who wins.
Yeah, I think I'll probably go after the Secretary of Defense over Trump. I don't really care what Trump says. He's got a Secretary of Defense who gives the lowdown on what's happening in Venezuela and with the boat.
Gotcha. He also said it was cocaine.
He said there was cocaine, sure, but he didn't say. He said like before you cut me off earlier that like, oh, it's only cocaine and nothing but cocaine and over cocaine, cocaine, cocaine. But that's not true. It's fentanyl as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guess what?
Anyways, but I
Here's
appreciate
the
you, Colin.
actual DEA, and I'll
Yeah.
put up on the screen for everybody to see it. Okay. Here is the actual
get
DEA
this
report on fentanyl in the United States showing where it's coming
Mm-hmm.
from. Do you know where none of it is coming from?
Where?
Venezuela.
Hold on, let me see.
That's
mute you here so I can
crazy,
see.
sir.
I'm gonna look.
DEA intelligence report. We have Mexico, we have India, we have
When
China,
is this report
we
for?
have all of these
Does it say
things.
when the report
An
was put out?
actual DEA intelligence report showing that it doesn't
right.
come
Does it
from
say when the
Venezuela.
report was put
So,
out?
sir,
Does it say when the
So,
report
sir.
was put out?
so, sir,
Does it say
So,
when the
sir.
report was put out?
So,
Is there
sir.
anything on there? I can't
so,
see.
sir,
small.
Can you
Go
hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right, awesome. You said I hadn't provided any evidence of my claim. I just provided my
When
claim.
was the report
So,
put out?
sir,
When was the report put out?
Sir.
Oh, it's going to be old, isn't it?
sir,
It's going to be an old report, and it's not
Sir.
going to be valid, is it?
sir. Are you
Ooh,
done?
that
Are you
sucks.
done speaking yet?
No, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Because again, we're gonna try to act like we're not this many and act our age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
All
try
right,
this
all right.
cool
Go
thing
ahead.
called shh.
Go on with your
Okay,
with
cool.
your point. Go ahead.
So now I would like for you to provide me data to show me
how can I do
that
that?
just tell me where it is. I'll put it up on the screen. That's fine. If you can show me an
Hold on a second,
intelligence
I'll pull it
report
up.
that disputes this data.
An intelligence report.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I just provided you with an intelligence
That's a
report.
high bar, but go ahead.
I provided you with an intelligence report.
When was this?
You
when was the
told me,
report dated?
sir, sir, how about this? You provide
You're
me
not gonna
any
answer my
intelligence
question?
reports.
Okay, fine.
How about this? You provide me with any intelligence report that disputes it, and then we'll argue about dates. Sound good?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. So I'll wait because you told me that I could not provide any intelligence report because I'm not in these secret briefings. So
if
apparently,
I
but
said one
I've been
from
able to do that.
1990 here,
But I've
but,
been able to
oh
do
my
that.
goodness.
But I've been able to do that so incredibly quickly. It's been wild. Okay. All right, so that's fine. I'll just sit here and we'll just wait for you to provide your intelligence report. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Oh my goodness. I like how it was totally like, there's no intelligence reports to say that. You can't provide one till I provide him one. And then he's like, just crashes the fuck out. Anyways, y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Can you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already? I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, Mindspeak, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, sir, you're out of order. No, sir, you're out of order. Sorry, we were doing a lot of quoting A Few Good Men earlier.
Few good men. Few good men.
Sir, you should be researching, not speaking.
I'm looking. I can do two things at once.
No, you can't. You can't even do one thing at once.
I can. So, how dare you impugn my abilities?
Anyways, Mindspeak, thank you so much for the $10 super set. Trump is chasing oil at Venezuela because drill baby drill here on US is not working. And fan is coming from China. Oh yeah, and fentanyl is coming from China. MAGA said we're there on Venezuela to free Venezuela people. Yeah, okay. We're literally doing Iraq again. Literally doing Iraq again, which is wild. Sir, you found it yet?
Don't rush me out.
Okay. Guess he doesn't find it. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for Mindspeak. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. CBT says, "Can we get Sir merch?" Yeah, I think we'll we'll do merch updates at some point. We'll do merch updates at some point. It really should be. Thank you so much, CBT. Also, Chase, thank you so much for the jewels, and Bake, thank you so much for the high five. I really appreciate that also. Yeah, it's just wild. Like 2 Republicans in a row doing weapons of mass destruction and regime change. Isn't that wild? You think the last Republican president is the one that did this? I know it was a long time ago. Okay. The last Republican president is the one who put us in a war just like this. They couldn't even skip one. Couldn't even skip one. CG, thank you so much for the membership. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's very, very sweet. Thank you so much. Sir, I am going to have to move on if you can't provide one in the near future.
I think you might be right. From what I'm seeing here, I think I may have been wrong. So I will make a culpa. It's looking like it's mostly cocaine. What is with those barrels, though? That doesn't look right at all. It looks like precursors. But all right, when the man's right, he's right.
All that arguing. That's crazy, man.
I know. Well, it's fun, though. It's fun. That's what you do all day.
No, it's not.
Come on now.
It's not what I do all day. I work all day, and then I come here.
I've seen your show before. You're always...
Well, if you had seen my show before, you'd know I was right.
Republicans.
Sir, if you'd seen my show before, you would have known I was right. You wouldn't have sat up here arguing, freaking just being wrong for no reason. Just being wrong and just being wrong and confident. Yeah.
I still don't care about blowing up boats in Venezuela, though. If we're going to do it, if we're going to do a regime change war, like I said in the beginning, I'd rather be in our hemisphere.
Okay, I'd rather just not do one. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and excuse you from my live. So bye-bye now. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate that. Jennifer, thank you so much for the membership. Also, big W's chat for Jennifer for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know. Just, guys, here's the thing. And really, okay. It's really okay to be wrong. And that's the really big thing. It's so okay to be wrong. Okay. I have no problem being wrong. I'm wrong sometimes. Okay. But just being super obnoxious and wrong and confident all at one time, it's just a real bad combination. Okay. If you don't know something, just say you don't know something. All right. Makes these things go a lot easier. We could have moved on to a whole bunch of other subjects.
It's insane.
We could have moved on to a whole bunch of other subjects, but couldn't do that. Couldn't do that. Sad, sad day. Anyways, we're going to try to keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to see who we got over here. See if we can keep this thing going. I'm not expecting my live to be like completely great because we're at a new time and it takes the algorithm a little bit to catch up to the new time. So, hello?
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 Sorry, that's the wrong number.
It's the wrong number?
Oh, maybe it wasn't the wrong number. I don't know.
I don't know either. What's up?
Nothing much. I was calling this guy on I saw him on Facebook Live
Oh, you don't want to talk
about
to
being
him.
a Trump supporter.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
I'm assuming this is him.
This is him. You are live. That is correct. Do you still support Trump?
Primarily, yeah. I mean,
Awesome.
for
How
me,
old are you?
it's more
Real
of a-
quick. Real quick. How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay, continue then. Sorry, I just had to make sure you're of legal age for terms of service.
Yeah. I would just say I'm more of a.
I didn't know I was on
more
Facebook
towards
either.
What? Oh, was it on YouTube then? It might have been on YouTube.
Yeah, I didn't know I was on Facebook either. But apparently, maybe someone. I figured maybe someone's streaming
probably,
me over there or something.
Oh,
okay.
It's probably my fault.
Okay.
I just wasn't distinguishing the two.
Okay, my bad.
I would just say I'm more of a Republican than a Democrat. There's a lot of things that I disagree with Trump on, especially his public rhetoric. I don't agree with it whatsoever. Or I would say not whatsoever, but a highly majority of the time that he talks, I don't like the way he talks. That's probably why he's so popular as well.
So why do you like him?
I would say, especially probably the last two times that not two times, but three times that he's ran, it's really just a lesser of the two evils.
Awesome. So we're gonna run through a few things real quick, if that's all right with you.
That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna have a strong opinion on stuff that I don't know. So if I don't know something, I'll clearly say that I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you some stuff. You might know some of it. You might not know all of it. But I'm gonna run through a quick little list, okay? And I want you to tell me how someone like Kamala Harris is like the worst of two evils between them. So Donald Trump, okay, is an adjudicated rapist. He's a 34 times over felon. He's defrauded a children's cancer charity. He cheated on his first wife with his second wife with his third wife with a porn star while she was pregnant. By the way, he bragged about grabbing women by the genitals. He's been accused of sexual assault and settled out of court over 30 different times. And if you want to just take all of that out of, he was just a really bad president. He drove us towards a recession, had millions of people die under his watch, and did a bad job of controlling the COVID pandemic when he was president last time. So I would just like you to explain to me and how in any way, shape, and form Donald Trump is somehow the better of two evils against somebody like Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I would say, no, you're wrong. I'm not going to condone his actions, especially his, like I said, once again, I don't really agree with a lot of his rhetoric on the way that he talks. I mean, most of that stuff I would condemn. I can't give you like a bullet point on what I do and what I don't, just because a lot of it I'd have to do research on the validity of it. But I would say for the most part, God, there's a lot of points that you went through there really fast. And I know you do this quite a bit, so as a
I kept the list short. We could have gone on for another like 10 minutes.
I don't doubt it. And I know there's a longer list than that.
He literally tried to commit an insurrection and where the vice president was trying to be hanged, where 140 police officers were injured and 2 of them ended up dying from their injuries, and then pardoned all those people who did it. He just pardoned somebody who is literally, was convicted in court of helping to finance people like Al Qaeda, right? Like we could go on for days on this. I'm just trying to figure out how he's the lesser of two evils with somebody like Kamala Harris.
I don't think it's I don't really look at it between two people. It's Kamala versus Trump, because in our reality, we can kind of agree that for the most part, when it comes to presidential candidates, it's kind of a pecking order. It's not really, I think a lot of people think that the president controls the majority of government and how they do things, and I don't think that's correctly true at all. It's a popularity contest for the most part.
Yeah, but sir, you're the one who made the positive claim that said he was the lesser of two evils. He was running against Kamala Harris. Okay. So he wasn't running against everybody. He was running against Kamala Harris. And I'm saying that Kamala Harris, while she had some policies that maybe I didn't always agree on, maybe she had some stances that I didn't always agree on, and maybe she did not present them in the perfect way every single time. If you want to put it in in a contest of lesser of two evils, Kamala Harris wins by all the miles. I don't know how many miles there are, but she wins by all of them, because she's not, a rapist. She's not freaking, she's not defrauding children with cancer, literally defrauding children with cancer. Like, I don't know where she sits, but it's way above Trump. Trump's best friends with freaking Epstein over here. Okay. Like, I don't know how Donald Trump is the lesser of two evils from anybody.
Well, I don't know if there's been any kind of evidence to show that he was implicit with Epstein, because I don't think all the files have been released yet.
Sir,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong in that.
That's totally fine if you want to take that one out. Okay, that's totally fine.
Oh.
Do you want to he got sued for stealing money from kids with cancer to put in his own pocket. Okay? That was
Just because
proven in court.
Just because you're sued for something doesn't mean
He
you
lost.
implicit it. Was he, and he lost?
Yes.
Okay, well then I can give
And
you
had
that.
to pay like $400 million or something back to kids with cancer.
Yeah, I mean, if he got sued and it went through the proper channels through the government and he lost, yeah, I could concede that.
Yeah, he got sued for sexual assault too and lost.
And lost?
Yep.
Okay, I could concede that too then. Yeah.
And then he went to criminal court for 34 felonies and lost that too.
You can't be president of the United States if you're a felon.
Yeah, you
no?
can. Actually, Colorado tried to stop that. Colorado actually sued and said that, yeah, he can't run for president as a felon. And the Supreme Court said, well, unless the legislature says he can't do it, then he can go ahead and do it. He is currently a convicted felon who is the president of the United States. And I'm just trying to figure out how that made him the better option. And I'm just saying, this is just me, dude. Like I said, like I'm not saying Kamala Harris was the best. I don't think she was the best the United States had to offer, if you want me to be completely honest. But I'm just trying to figure out how she was worse than that.
Well, I think you're, once again, I'm not basing it off of the character between one person and another person. I'm basing it on the character of two parties.
Yeah, but what do you mean the character of two parties don't have characters?
Innately,
Okay,
they do
people
amongst
have
each other, yes.
character. People have character.
Yeah.
Parties
But
have
collective-
parties have agendas. They have stances. They have priorities. They don't have character.
Collective groups of parties do have character.
Okay, Donald Trump's party supports white nationalism, incredible
Okay.
racism, insane anti-Semitism.
How so?
Donald Trump literally had had dinner with Nick Fuentes. He's being propped up by the entire right now. Nick Fuentes was just on with what's his name, Tucker Carlson, where he was literally up there talking. And JD Vance been asked about him too, and wouldn't say anything bad about him. And he literally talks about how women have a place at home and they don't need to leave it. They don't need to have jobs. They need to know their place. And how freaking literally horrific anti-Semitic stuff about how Jews are doing all these horrible things across the world. Donald Trump had dinner with him.
I saw the interview between Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes, and I want to say that Tucker Carlson was actually very adamant about a lot of the things that Nick Fuentes was saying he was against.
Nick Fuentes is on the right. You're saying it doesn't matter about that. Nick Fuentes is on the right. That's the character of the party, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you support that.
One person out of, I mean, he's right-leaning, but let's just say, for example, that he is Republican. Just to say, for example, one person doesn't
Sweet.
generalize the entire party.
Sure. How about
It's
the young?
one- it's-
how about the leaders of the Young Republicans? The ones that literally their group chat was leaked and they were talking. They.
Oh
were,
yeah, that was terrible. That was terrible.
Those are the
That was
leaders.
terrible.
Those are the leaders of the Republican Party. And JD Vance was asked about them and defended them.
We can also kind of agree that under a scope, the right side or Republican Party is under a lot more scrutiny than the left.
No, they're
that's kind of
fucking
a
not.
fact. They absolutely
That is a
are.
fucking joke, dude. That is a fucking joke. You are telling
Name
me
me a-
that the president of
name
the
me a-
United the president of the
Go ahead.
United States called the left domestic terrorists.
I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, you're telling me you're not under scrutiny? Literally every time anyone on the left does anything, Donald Trump calls them a domestic terrorist and calling them to be completely eradicated from our society. Okay?
Once again, I've already agreed that I don't like the rhetoric that he
No,
talks
sir,
about.
we're not talking about, sir, the rhetoric is part of it. If you're going to make it a party, sir, if you are going to make it about the character of a party, then who is the leader of the Republican Party? It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump
They
is the
appoint
leader
him.
of the Republican Party. So if we were talking about the character of the party and the leader of the party is the one saying these things, then that is the character of the party. You can't just ignore the
No.
leader of a party's character if you're talking about the character of a party.
Because I can go through numerous examples of the other party, and
Sure, let's do it.
you're not going to agree with it.
Sure, let's do it. I would love to see what you're combating over freaking the Donald Trump calling the left domestic terrorists and the leaders of the party bragging about raping girls in their chat, talking about sending people to gas chambers, talking about their love for freaking people like Hitler. I would love to see what you're going to bring up on the left that is somehow so much worse than all of this stuff.
Well, I think from an individual standpoint, from Trump, a lot of things that he spills it looks really bad on him. But when it comes to the other side, it's collectively it's a lot worse for the entire nation.
How?
I could easily see how if Trump I'm just going to assume that everything you're saying is correct about the rapes. We'll even say that he's in the Epstein files, even though it's not proven. All these bad things. It's a bad thing of Trump's character, but it doesn't affect the nation. It's just one bad guy.
You don't think that the president of the United States calling an entire political ideology domestic terrorists doesn't affect the nation? Is that a joke?
That's not what I said.
You don't think that Donald Trump, that the president of the United States freaking being friendly with neo-Nazis hurts the nation?
Friendly? Define friendly.
Having dinner with?
So you're saying because somebody is at one particular restaurant or in a debate with some of the person, they're acting friendly towards them?
It was a personal invite from Donald Trump. David Duke was also invited to one. You know who David Duke is?
No.
Yeah, ex-Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Who was he a Republican?
Yeah.
Or was he Democrat?
Yeah, Republican. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Not all Republicans are white supremacists, but all white supremacists are Republican. Yeah.
I think it's a little weird since if you look at it historically, the either the Nazis or the Ku Klux Klan were both Democratic.
The Ku Klux Klan was part of the Democratic Party back when the Democratic Party was the right-leaning party. The Democrats. It used to be the Republicans were the left and the Democrats were the right, and now they've swapped. So what hasn't changed is the Klan is still on the right. The parties changed which side they're on. Okay, the Klan stayed exactly where they're at. They're the only consistent part here. Okay, and when you talk about the Nazis, that's complete bullshit. The number one enemy of that the Nazis called their number one enemy was the communists. The communists are a left-leaning party, or a far left party, actually, if you want to go that far. They literally fought against the left. So I don't know what you're talking about with them being. Both of those groups are very far right organizations.
I mean, that's not the way that I think about it. I don't look at it from left-leaning or right-leaning. I look at it from a progressive standpoint. And in history, progressive values are the people who side with them. It usually doesn't end very well. And that's what you kind of see today.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on your example.
Of?
You're saying that the left is so much worse for our country, and I'm waiting for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When it comes to the whole thing with transgenderism nowadays, I wouldn't say it's even killing us because it's such a it's so small. It's not big enough to really affect the entire nation. When it comes to DEI programs, it's killing our universities and honestly the well-being of the youth of the country.
Sure. Can you show me where any presidential candidate on the left, any of them, I mean, ones that won, ones that lost, doesn't matter. Biden, Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, Obama.
Kamala Harris is literally a DEI candidate.
Yeah, sir, you don't know anything about DEI, just like you don't know anything about the Nazis. Can you please show me where, sir, I haven't finished asking my question yet. Can you please show me where any of those people have had a singular policy or singular agenda item or singular debate whatsoever where they were talking about transgender people?
A political party member?
Yeah, you're telling me that that thing about transgender people is ruining it, and I want you to show me where any of these presidential candidates talked about transgender people.
I'm not saying the candidates themselves talked about it. I'm saying the group did.
So the leaders of the parties didn't do that at all. You know who there was a presidential candidate who ran like millions, like literally hundreds of millions of dollars of ads about transgender people. Do you know who that was?
No.
Yeah, it was Donald Trump.
What
Yeah.
was the context of it?
Yeah, telling you that the left is trying to do some things with transgenders because he needed to convince you of that. Okay, that's why you said he was trying to convince you that the left's entire policy agenda had something to do with transgender people when it didn't. He literally just convinced you of that, and you just took it hook, line, and sinker and sunk along with it. But regardless of any of that, sir, do you know who the number one benefactor of DEI is in this country?
The benefactor of DEI?
Mhm.
I don't think there is really a benefactor of DEI.
Yes, there is. And do you know who the number one benefactor is?
Not that I know of, but you go ahead and tell me.
Yeah, it's white women. Yeah,
White
women.
women.
White women are the number one benefactor of DEI in this country. You know who number two is?
Go ahead and explain to me how it's women first before you go into my number two.
Yeah, it's veterans. Veterans are number two.
Yeah. How is it white women though? Explain that to me.
Because white women have been. What do you know what DEI is? What's DEI mean?
It's let's see, diversity, inclusion, and fuck, I forgot what it is. Diversity, inclusion. No. Diversity, equity, inclusion.
Diversity, equity, inclusion. There's a little A at the end of it too that for some reason people seem to leave off. It's actually DEIA. It's diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. Okay, so let me ask you a question. What's the opposite of diversity?
The opposite of diversity? Non-diversity?
I mean, you're technically right. You're technically right.
Yeah. Can I go ahead and go through the what makes the DEI bad? Because I mean, you've had a couple.
I don't think you know what DEI is. That's why we're going through this.
Well,
I don't think you know what DEI is. So how can you tell me how it's bad if you don't know what it is?
I mean, it's quotas. That's all it is.
Nope.
It's quotas for certain.
Nope.
It's not.
Nope. That would be affirmative action. And affirmative action was shot down by the Supreme Court.
Yeah. But are they not entwined together?
Nope.
Really?
Really?
So you go So go ahead and explain to me what diversity, equity, inclusion is. Then.
Yeah, it's actually like a human resources like type program to talk about how groups, especially certain groups of people, work better with more diverse situations and stuff like that. So like if you have people that are like black, brown, different religions, different ethnicities, different genders, different gender ideologies, different all that sort of stuff, they work better as a team than having a monolith, right? Mm-hmm. That's literally what DEI is. Now there are certain DEI programs that are within different companies, so like Target have had serious ones, but when it comes to actually a hiring practice, all right, usually DEI actually advocates for the lack of any of those identifiable markers in it, right? Not having things like like your race or your your gender or anything like that in there to actually create a more even playing field. But the biggest thing with it is that it does not in any way, shape, or form trump any type of qualification.
It doesn't.
No.
Okay, so I want to say there's an airline place that they're wanting their new candidates to either be people of color or women. Forget what airline it was. Yeah. Not to say that their current employees were 50%, but their new employees would be 50%.
Okay.
How would they meet those quotas? How would they meet that?
Did they say that those people, because there's lots of qualified black and women pilots?
Okay. Then why are there not now?
That's why.
But why is it not now?
By the way, this didn't happen whatsoever. This had nothing to do with an airline. I believe it was a flight school, is what you're talking about.
No, there was an airline.
Then which airline was it?
School. Like I said, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a flight school. Okay. And the reason why it matters that it was a flight school and not an airline is because the job of a flight school is to train qualified people. Okay, so you can't hire someone unqualified to go to school. That's the whole point of school, is to get you qualified.
Well, I'm trying to look this up real fast to see. I could have sworn. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could be wrong. But
you
I'm
are.
almost positive it was an airline.
You are. No, you're wrong.
I just don't see how you're going to enforce diversity, equity, inclusion.
Who's trying to enforce it?
Well, if you want diversity, equity, inclusion, how else are you going to get from point A to point B?
Because I can say that I want to hire more black women, in my like if I own a business, I say I want to hire more black women. So that when I get a bunch of qualified candidates, I prioritize the qualified candidates that are black women.
Okay, so United Airlines aims for 50% of students at its Aviate Academy to be women or people of color.
At its academy. So a flight school.
Yeah.
So a flight school. How is somebody unqualified to go to a flight school?
They're not unqualified to go to a flight school. Unless I'm wrong and there's some kind of precursor that you need to go to flight school, which I assume that there is.
So, sir, then how is it hiring unqualified people?
Well, once they go from students, they have to go to pilots, right?
Right, that the school is making them qualified for.
Yeah.
So how is that hiring unqualified candidates?
How are you getting that many people?
Sir, I just explained this to you.
Okay, my thing is that why is it that you need 50%?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
What percentage?
I've been very respectful of letting you talk.
I know, but you're just asking the same questions.
No,
sir, you keep asking the same questions. I keep answering the same questions, so we're getting nowhere. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. What percentage of pilots are black?
What? Oh, it's low. It's like 3%.
I don't think it's
really
that high.
Low.
I don't believe it's that high.
It might. Well, I know it's really low. I'm almost positive it's under 5%. Almost positive. And
I think it's closer to 1%. Now, what percentage of the United States is black?
I think it's under 15%.
It's higher, but we'll give 15% just for fun. So why does the amount of pilots, not equally match the percentage of Americans that are black in this country?
There's a lot of reasons why. I mean, it's not going to match 1-to-1 like that.
Oh, but it should be, at least semi-close, right? It should be somewhere in the range, right? So you're saying that 15% of Americans, why not?
Well, do you want to swap the logic?
Sure.
Okay, why is 75% of the NBA black?
Why is 55% of the NBA black? Because, that actually 75%. Goes, you really want to know the real answer for that? You're not going to like it.
We all know the real answer for it, but go ahead.
Then what's the real answer for it?
Because, I mean, black people are better at basketball than white people.
And why is that?
That's just a fact.
And why is that?
There's a lot of reasons why it could be, but...
No, there's a reason why. Why is that?
Well, it's obviously based on your skill, but if you look at physical... even though white people and black people, we're still human, and even if you live in America, we're still American. I don't like the term African American or Black American. You're just American. But even within the races, you have physical discrepancies between black and white people.
And why do you have physical discrepancies between black and white people?
Because of DNA.
Nope. Because of slavery.
Huh?
Because of slavery.
How are we getting away with slavery? If you look at it on average,
back in the day, before.
Can I finish my point?
Well, you asked me a question. You said how slavery. I was answering your question. Why'd you ask me a question? Then you didn't want me. All right, fine, go ahead. You asked me the question. I was just answering.
It was rhetorical.
Well, it didn't sound rhetorical. I was going to answer that question.
Okay. Well, if you look at height, on average, black people are taller than white people. And in the NBA, even though there are outliers that are smaller, that's kind of a determining factor. It's how tall you are. It's also based on skill. It could also be based on culture.
Taller.
Why are they taller?
Uh-huh.
Because of their DNA. That's
because
how you get height.
Of slavery.
And explain to me how slavery has anything to do with that.
Would you like me to actually answer now?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. The reason is because back when freaking white people owned black people, it was very favorable to have certain traits in their slaves, especially when they had them work in the fields or doing anything, right? Being stronger, being taller, right? These are things that were helpful for their slaves. So they bred slaves, right? They forced black people to breed the tall, big, large men with the tall, big, large women to create tall, big, large babies, and therefore the smaller people were bred out of existence. So the reason why black people are better at basketball and better at football while they're faster, stronger, and taller is because white people forced breeding in black people. That's why it exists. Now. Let's take all of that, put it to the side real quick. How do any of these qualifications make you a better pilot?
Because innately, on top of DNA, it has to do with culture, and this is not
culture makes you a better pilot. I would love to hear this.
No. I'm saying even if white people still had the same advantages that black people have in the NBA, you're just going to see more people in the NBA that are black because it's more culturally acceptable to play basketball. They like basketball. White people don't like basketball as much. It's the same reason why you have golf. You can be black and be white and play golf. You don't need to be tall or strong.
Okay,
look at a lot of golfers.
Let's get into this.
They're not very tall.
Why do more black people play basketball?
Because it's more accepted in their culture.
Incorrect. I'll give you a hint. It's the reason why soccer is the #1 sport on the planet.
It's cheap.
There you go, because it's cheap to play. And black people who have been traditionally disenfranchised in this country due to slavery, following things like Jim Crow, through the systematic, the systematic jailing and slaving of black people in this country, have been left in a situation where they are put at a back burner, and therefore traditionally, things like redlining made them where they could not invest in their communities and became more poor. So therefore, poor people play poor sports. Basketball is an easy one because you can play it at your local sport, and basketballs aren't that expensive. Golf, on the other hand, and this is coming from somebody who's an avid golfer, is a very expensive sport. Okay, so the reason why more white people play golf is because more white people grew up with the opportunities because they had that step forward in order to afford the equipment to be able to train to be able to play golf. And black people traditionally did not have that type of money, so they played things like basketball.
I agree.
Okay, so now let's take all of that again and put it to the side. Okay, what advantage is being a pilot come from? Because I'm pretty sure that a pilot requires hand-eye coordination, which we've already talked about that black people are much better at, right? So black people should be able to fly the plane just as well as white people, if not maybe even a little bit better. Okay, so I
didn't say it's just
so. Why are less than 1% of pilots black, even in a population that's 16% black?
Culture.
It is not culture, sir. It is because yes, and I'm going to explain to you what it is, okay? I'm going to explain to you what it is. Because for a long time in this country, okay, you didn't have black people that were even accepted into flight school. If you want to go back to even like World War II and look at things like the Red Tails, right? Where not only were black pilots ostracized, but they were given the worst equipment, right? They were given the worst training. They were given the worst planes. They were given the worst maintenance ability. They were given the worst things and still outperformed most of their white counterparts as fighter pilots in World War II. But when they came back from World War II, black people weren't accepted as pilots, specifically in the commercial landscape, right? You had things like TWA and other companies for a long time that would not even hire black pilots. They would only hire white pilots, right? So their flight schools were just traditionally kicking in white people. We see things like in job markets and especially in things like flight schools in the United States where they take identical resumes, right? But one has a black sounding name, and you see that white people are more accepted into these workspaces and into these schools just based off their name. Right? Not to even mention the disenfranchisement that we talked about when it came to things like financial ability, right? And flight school has traditionally been very expensive, and black people haven't had the ability to do that. So when we talk about things like DEI, when we talk about things about affirmative action, actually doing numbers, what that does is tries to level the playing field. It is trying to catch up black people to the actual amount of pilots that actually should already traditionally be in these roles, but have not been due to the disenfranchisement and the systematic, right, pushing down of black people in this culture. That's why things like DEI, that's why things like affirmative action are so important.
Mm-hmm. So you brought up an interesting point about how soccer
I brought up
and
about
basketball are
50.
Okay, I'm just pointing out one of them. I find it interesting that you said that, and I agree that between soccer and basketball, they're both cheap sports. That's why usually lower economical groups play them, especially racial-wise. because that's kind of how we're on here. Why is it that
Especially
the
racial
population-
wise.
Well, yeah, because there is a discrepancy in race between certain professions or certain sports. That's
No,
kind of a fact.
poor
no?
people in every single part of the world play basketball and they play soccer. Where are most of the really good white people in the NBA from?
There's not very many of them, and honestly, I think the majority of the really great ones, they're from Europe. They're not even from the U.S.
What part of Europe?
Does it matter what type of Europe it is?
Yes, it does.
Okay, let's just assume that it's lower economic.
And we don't have to assume it is. They're from
Okay,
Eastern Europe.
okay.
They're
It's
poor
off-
white
it's
people.
off my point.
That's the whole
It's off
point.
my point.
They're
Off my
poor
point.
white people. That's the
Okay.
whole point. It's not
Okay,
racial. It's
okay.
economic.
Okay, what I'm saying is that if you see such a high magnitude of black people in the NBA because of their obvious physical advantages, why don't you see them in the same proportion in soccer?
Because traditionally we play you play whatever sports are around you, and soccer is not usually in black communities.
So it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, that's the reason why they don't play soccer. It's not the reason why they don't play golf. None of this has anything to do with, sir, why you're worried about black people being accepted into flight school. Okay,
Because it's
and I think
not- it's
you're
not
using the difference,
culturally.
sir.
That's why.
Sir.
Hold on.
sir.
I let you talk and you want to interrupt
Sir,
me. I've
you
been
don't let
very
me
cordial.
fucking talk on my live. I let you, and I shouldn't even be fucking doing that because you're being fucking racist as shit. Okay?
Racist?
Yes. Okay?
How so?
You don't let me fucking talk. Okay? You're not listening to a goddamn fucking word I'm saying. I am talking about the acceptance of fucking black people into a flight school, and you keep taking it back to basketball as if your physical fucking abilities, your height and your strength have anything to do with being a fucking pilot. They have everything to do with whether you can make it into the NBA. Your speed, your height, your strength have everything to do with whether you make it into the NBA and have nothing to fucking do on whether you're qualified to make it into flight school. So can we please bring this conversation back to the flight school and stop trying to fucking talk about the NBA?
If you let me talk for more than which, I've been very cordial. And
Oh,
when I
shut
say
the
let
fuck
you
up and
talk,
just answer the fucking question. Jesus fucking Christ.
how old are you?
Fucking old enough to know that fucking bigots like you shouldn't be platformed, and for some reason I'm leaving you on here. So if you can just get to the fucking point, I would really fucking appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. What I was trying to tie together is that if you look at basketball and soccer, they're not represented. Why are they not represented?
He goes
because
right
it's
back
not,
to it.
It's not.
And he
it's
goes
not
right
cultural.
back fucking to it.
It's a cultural thing.
This is why I
culture.
don't tolerate bullshit from people like you.
It's not a
This is
culture
why
in
I
the
don't
black community
tolerate
to be a
bullshit
pilot,
like you.
man.
It's not why this is why I don't
that's
talk
not
to
the
fucking
culture.
idiots like you. This is why I don't do it. This is why I stay away from people like you. Okay?
Is it culturally acceptable to be a pilot in the black community?
Sir.
Yes or no?
Sir, obviously it is.
Really? It is.
That's why they're getting
It's
all these black
culturally-
people into flight schools.
It's
That you have
culturally
such a problem
acceptable in
with.
the black community to thrive to
You
be
know what?
an airline
You know
pilot.
what? Here's the cool thing. It's pretty awesome. Okay? One of us grew up black. Okay? The other one of us didn't. Okay?
Okay.
And the one person that didn't grow up black is telling the person that grew up black what is culturally acceptable in their community.
We've agreed on like 90% of what's culturally acceptable in the black community, no?
No.
Between sports, between culture, what have we really disagreed on in the culture here?
Sir. It is not.
Can you answer my question?
Sir, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Okay?
You're gonna ask me a question to answer my question.
Yeah, I am. Okay?
Okay.
If it's not culturally acceptable for black people to be in flight schools, then why are you worried about United Airlines flight school trying to accept more black people?
I have no problem with black people wanting
That
to go.
was the whole
to an
point
airline.
of this conversation, was that you had a problem with it. The entire way that we got to this part of the conversation is that you had a problem with United Airlines flight school wanting to accept more black people. That is the whole reason we got to this conversation. So if
Those are two different
culturally black people don't want to be pilots, then why are you so worried about United Airlines flight school trying to accept more people, more black people? Answer that question for me.
No.
Insane.
I'm on the phone.
Yeah, tell your mom she can hang out for a bit.
That's it, man.
Tell her to call me later too. I'm on the phone, Mom. Mom, meatloaf. Mom, meatloaf.
let my mom do.
God, what is she doing? I never know what she's doing.
That's my wife, dude. I have no problem with black people wanting to be airline pilots. I have a problem with DEI trying to incentivize it, because if you look at DEI, almost every single time whenever they try to implement it, it goes through quotas. And when you raise quotas, you lower the quality of either your employees or your students.
And quotas, I've already explained to you, aren't DEI, they're affirmative action. We've already been through this part.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, but
whenever
you didn't
try to-
listen.
If you push these things, that's you can try to say that, oh, we're not going to integrate this, but you are. That's the whole point. You're
So-
going to integrate it.
Can you please explain to me, okay, where you're getting this information? Okay, because you're obviously you couldn't even just tell me what DEI stood for. Okay, and now all of a sudden
I
you're
didn't.
up here. No, you couldn't. Okay,
Did I not say diversity, equity, inclusion?
no, you did not.
Really?
Correct.
Okay,
Actually, you
so
said
did-
diversity, inclusion, and then inclusion. Okay, then I
then I said
informed
equity.
you of. Then I informed you of equity.
Of the A, yeah, of the A. No, you
Nope,
informed me of the
equity's E.
A. You
Okay, nope, I informed
You
you, of
said
the
most
E
of
also.
the time-
Sir, I understand. Okay, it's fine.
No, you
All right,
didn't.
I know
You
you're
definitely did not.
dude, you're barely holding on to this conversation. Okay,
Sure.
and I know it must
Sure.
be rough for you.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, it's super.
okay.
Yeah.
Black people aren't taking your jobs because of DEI. Okay. What does happen with DEI, right, is that you can prioritize people that are just as fucking qualified into jobs. Okay. When you
How
have
do you,
it,
how do you
sir,
prioritize them?
easily, you have equally qualified people, you prioritize the black person.
What's the definition of prioritize?
Do you need me to define it for you? Take one over the other?
Yeah, go ahead. No.
Put one in
What
front
is
of
the
the other.
definition? What is one in front of the other?
Yeah.
Which is what? It means you're going to take somebody else over somebody else based on what? The color of their skin.
Yeah, but actually
Not their
traditionally
merit.
yeah, sir. If merit is equal, I've already said this part. We already start from merit is equal. Okay? We
Okay.
already start
All right.
from merit is equal. And again, the number one benefactor of this in the United States is not black people. It's white women. Okay? It is white women being prioritized over their male counterparts who are equally as qualified. Okay? Two people go to Yale University for law school. One's a white man, one's a white woman. DEI says, hey, we want to have a certain percentage that are white women, or try to prioritize the women in this category. Equally as qualified, both graduated from the same school, both graduated with the same GPA, both have all the same credentials. We prioritize one over the other. Okay? That's it. It
And
has nothing to do with qualifications. In no way, shape, or form does DEI in any way, shape, or form has or will ever, okay, prioritize someone unqualified or less qualified over someone that is more qualified. That is affirmative action. Okay. Affirmative action is what does quotas. Affirmative action was a collegiate thing, right? Where it said, we are going to take this percentage of our student body and we're going to make them black. And in that case, yes, they would prioritize people that might have been less qualified over people that were more qualified. That is true. DEI doesn't do that. Okay.
So you agree that affirmative action is wrong now?
No, I don't agree that's wrong at all.
Really?
Yeah.
So you agree that we should hire or accept a student with lower standards based on the color of their skin?
100%.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do you think from a long-term
Do you know why?
perspective? What?
Do you know why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
because historically in this country, it's been done the entire time just for white people.
So you think two wrongs make it right?
I think this isn't a wrong. I think this makes up for it, right? It allows, right, generations of disenfranchisement for where black people have not been able to enter these institutions, so therefore do not have the generational wealth to now enter these institutions, or don't have the knowledge base because, generational wealth pays for things like tutors, private schools, and all sorts of other things that can actually help them get into these schools. And what it does is it sets a path where now these traditionally disenfranchised people can now enter these schools and now create generational wealth where they don't have to have affirmative action later, because now these kids have the same starting point as their white counterparts.
See, this is a real contention that I have, is that when it comes to, especially our youth, when it comes to employing adults, we have to call a strike and a ball.
Yep,
If
and
we want
affirmative
to hire
action wasn't a hiring practice. It was a collegiate action.
Okay, even through collegiate. If we're going to say that periodically, or in the past, we have hired, or not hired, but we've accepted white students over black students, even though the black students had a higher score. That's wrong because we were obviously in segregation. We were a racist country. I admit that.
That
was
now.
wrong.
That happens now.
But
No, that
okay.
You're saying it as if it was
But
past tense. That happens
on
now.
the other hand, if we are accepting a black student over a white student, but he has lower scores, now that's right?
Sir,
Sir, we got to call a strike a strike.
That's not a past thing. That is a now thing. Okay? You're
Really?
making it sound like, oh, these colleges were racist back in the day and they were accepting white people that were less qualified over black people that were more qualified. And now we don't need to make up for that. I'm telling you that right now, that is happening in U.S. colleges right now, today, as we go into
Like
college
Harvard?
season, right now, like Harvard, exactly like Harvard. Like Harvard,
Really?
like
So-
Columbia, like Yale, like Stanford, like any of the Ivy League schools in this freaking country. It is happening right now.
Do you want me to look up the acceptance rate of SAT scores for Black Americans, White Americans, and Chinese Americans
Not
in
particularly,
Harvard? I wonder why.
because I don't care.
Because you know
All right, then look
that
them
the
up.
acceptance.
Then go ahead. No, then go ahead and look them up.
Want to say the last time I looked this up?
No. I don't know. I didn't want. No,
African-Americans
sir.
were-
I said I didn't want you to look it up because honestly, it would bore the conversation while I was waiting for you to look it up just to prove you wrong on it later. But that's totally fine. If you think I don't want to hear it, then go ahead and look it up. Pull it up and show me the fucking data so I can fucking prove you wrong with your own data. Not a fucking problem.
Okay. Let's see.
Here, I'll even pull it up on the screen.
This is the right one, right? For administrative bar rate? Yeah. Do you want me to link it?
No, I'm good. You can tell me what it says.
It's basically a graph that shows the SAT scores. It's only showing, this has got to be able to move because it says from 1995 to 2013, but it's only showing from 2000. No, it's probably right.
So let me ask
I
you a
don't know how
question. Let me ask you a question. And this is why I said I don't need you to show it to me because I don't care.
Well,
Okay?
I have it right here.
Sure,
And
pull
this
it
is
up.
from the Harvard Crimson. How would I pull it up?
You're telling me Harvard's reporting Harvard stats on this? Okay.
The Harvard Crimson is reporting stats on Harvard. Seems pretty likely to me.
Yeah, I have no reason why Harvard would want to skew the data to not make themselves sound racist. Go ahead, though.
That's like the U.S. not putting out stats for the U.S. economics. What kind of sense
Donald
does that
Trump
make?
literally stopped putting out economic data because he didn't like it. That literally just happened.
I'm sorry. It's an example, man.
I know it was
It's
a
not
really bad
one-to-one.
one because it literally just happened. The literal U.S. government stopped putting out fucking labor data because their labor data was so bad that they did not want to report it. That they thank
What
you for
about
proving
what
my
about
point
criminality?
that an
What about
institution might
criminality?
not want to put things out there like that. That was pretty
What
simple.
about the U.S. puts
We're
stats
talking
on
about
U.S.
the
stuff all the
difference. Sir,
time.
we're talking about the difference between biased and unbiased information. But the reason why I said it didn't matter, sir, is why do black people have lower SAT scores?
Variety of reasons, but lower economic is definitely part of it.
And why are they lower economically?
Because I mean, especially since like probably like Jim Crow's laws ended in like what was it 1970s? I think it was Jim Crow law ended in like 1973 or not? Yeah, 1973, right? It was somewhere around there. I'm pretty close. No, not Jim Crow. That was redlining. That wasn't Jim Crow. That was redlining. Jim Crow was like 1950s or 60s. But
Because
predominantly,
traditionally in the United States, black people have been disenfranchised, so not given the same opportunities. Okay, so therefore not had the ability to have things like like hire private tutors in order to study for SATs, to be able to go to private schools, or even have better schools, because schools in the United States are paid for by property taxes, and places with lower property taxes have worse schools. Traditionally, black people were redlined into those areas, and then generationally are still in those areas where they are still poor. So therefore, they don't have the opportunity, okay, to have these same chances as their white counterparts traditionally. Okay, so that's why I'm saying having an SAT score doesn't mean that you are smarter. It means that you've had better opportunities.
I think SAT scores shed pretty lightly on your intelligence, man. It's
Nope, they share pretty lightly on your opportunity.
Really?
Yes.
You think SAT scores should...
So let me ask
man.
you a question. If you have
That's your merit.
sir, if you had two people of equal IQ, but one person had the ability to have a private tutor, a private school, and a private tutor that specifically trained them, and they were able to study constantly every day for an SAT, and one person who did not have that opportunity, who's going to score higher on the SAT?
You said they had the same score.
No, I said they had the same IQ.
Oh, they had the same IQ. And based on what?
One person has the ability to pay a private tutor, okay, to specifically for SAT prep for studying for years in order to make sure that they were prepped for the SAT. The other person did not have that opportunity. Who is more likely to score on that? Who score higher on that test?
Probably the person who has tutors.
Correct. So therefore, the SAT is not a show of who is the higher IQ. It is a show of who is better prepped. And wealth is what decides who's better prepped. And black people have been historically disenfranchised from that wealth.
See, I somewhat agree with you on some of this, but I think more than black people being disenfranchised, which I'm not gonna disagree that they haven't, but I think for the most part, I'm not even gonna say for the most part because it's a multi-layered. Is the biggest thing that's had the downfall of the black community is single motherhood, which also has to do with governmental intervention.
No, it has to do with racism.
Government intervention, which
racism. It has to do with racist white people.
Yes.
Thank you for proving another point on me. Okay. Which, by the way, that number is completely skewed and wrong.
Which
right?
I wonder who implemented the New Deal.
It's completely skewed and wrong. Okay. But regardless of that, sir,
thank
you for giving me. No, I'm not holding on.
I'm in the middle. Point?
You weren't in a point. I was in a point.
I was in a point.
No, you weren't. What I was saying was thank you for giving me another reason why things like informative action are important. I appreciate that.
Which was an interruption. That was an interruption because I was going through my point.
Just helping me out.
Sure I am. Yeah, but you're still interrupting me from what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But the main reason why single motherhood is so terrible in the black community, which I agree it was because of government intervention, was a part of the New Deal, which was pushed through who? Democrats.
Sir, actually, the entire stats on single motherhood within the black community is completely false anyway. What you're actually just seeing is the difference between people that are getting married and people that are not. If you actually look at the statistics of how black fathers actually being in the children's lives, it's equal to, if not higher than the white community. So this whole single motherhood thing is a complete joke and an actual very racist fucking trope that's been perpetuated by racist people, okay? Black fathers are very, very much in their children's lives, okay? To a point that's even higher than white people on most cases. Okay.
Really?
They're just not married. And so therefore it doesn't count within that household thing because black people for some reason don't feel like super big on fucking getting the government involved in their relationships. I can't understand why black people wouldn't want to be super, involved in that. So again, you're using data, okay? You're using skewed data that is specifically used to again keep black people down.
Keeping them down. I'm just saying that there's a single motherhood problem.
Sir,
that's all I'm saying.
Sir, you're using data like that. It's just like the example of that the same people use, which I'm probably sure you're getting ready to quote anyway eventually, about freaking people arrested for murder within the black community and how it's so high, without admitting understanding the fact that the most exonerations are also from black people in that same within that same category, which means that black people are more likely to be arrested for murders they didn't commit than any other group of people in the United States, specifically black men. Okay, these are things that are used, okay, to make it sound like black people are somehow at fault, okay, for not having the ability to be part of these conversations, right? Affirmative action sought to freaking try to correct that. Okay, so no, I don't agree that affirmative action should have ended. Okay, I don't think it was near getting to the point to catch up to any of the historical faults that the government has done, and that the places like these universities have done to be able to freaking, to put black people down. And these were small little things to help bring them up, not even to equal. And that's what's so sad, right? What's so sad is things like, affirmative action, even things like trying to get, more black and women, pilots in United's flight program would have put a small tiny dent. Okay. The tiniest minimalist freaking dent, right? In helping black people to freaking and women in this country too, right? Just the smallest little one to help bring people just a little bit closer, not to equality, right? Not even close to equality, nowhere close to equity, just a little bit more, right? And white people like you lose their fucking shit over it. Okay? You guys lose your whole minds, okay, about things like freaking United being like, you know what? Let's get a few more black people and women in our flight school so we could try to have, get the pilots just a little bit more caught up and not just have all white males. And just that little bit of help, that little bit of somebody having a little bit of fucking empathy, right? And having a little bit of understanding of the world and the culture that we lived in. Just that little tiny, barely even a pinhole of a fucking dent, right, into the societal problems that exist within the United States. And people like you come up here and have a shit fit over it. It's
How do you
sad.
think I'm losing my mind?
It's sad.
Me and you have actually agreed on a lot of points, and I guarantee you get a lot of like far right-wing people that just disagree with you about everything. I would say for the most part, we've agreed on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we haven't agreed on, but I mean, I've conceded a lot of points which are true that I guarantee you a lot of the right-wing people that you talk to don't. Correct or not correct?
Sir, what the right-wing people talk about isn't really important because you're repeating what they say. Okay? You are whether
I asked the question.
Sir, whether you think you're part of the far right or not, okay?
I'm
the
not.
Points that you're saying are their points. You are repeating word for word the exact points that super big racists make, that white supremacists make, okay, that far right people, that neo-Nazis make. You are repeating their talking points and their propaganda verbatim.
So
Verbatim.
actually, the racists that come on and talk to you, they don't agree and accept that the racism and inequality in America through generations of black people haven't hurt them? They agree that that's happened?
Some of them do, some of them don't.
That's not very racist if they are.
No. You can agree that it happened and still want to keep it happening.
I don't want to keep it happening. I want that's the same reason why I told you earlier, like, I don't believe in Black American or African American. You're just American. Most racists ain't going to tell you that. Most racists aren't going to agree that we've done bad things in the black community to disenfranchise them.
Sir,
Because then they're not a racist.
Sir, whether you're doing it intentionally or not does not change the fact. Okay, sir? And I think that's where you're having the hard time with this conversation. Okay? Because you think that because you understand, right? Or you think that you understand, right? That black people have been disenfranchised in this country, that the other things that you're saying aren't insanely problematic, that they're not racist, right? You think that because you think that they're not, but they are. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. When you repeat things, okay, like, oh, freaking DEI is putting unqualified black people in the places of white people. Okay. Which is what you were saying, which was the entire point of this conversation. When you say things like that, okay,
I didn't say they're unqualified. You're putting words in my mouth.
Yes, you did.
I didn't say
sir, trust
I did
me.
not say they're unqualified. Nope,
Okay,
I didn't say
cool.
that.
That's fine, sir. I'm gonna make a video on this tomorrow, and I'll put the clips right next to each other so you can hear yourself saying it, because apparently you can't remember the things that you said not that long ago. Okay, but I remember. Yes, you did. Yes, you specifically did. You specifically said they were unqualified. You specifically said they had to go out and find unqualified people in order to meet those quotas. That is exactly what you said, and do not try to deny it now. And when you say those things,
I'm not going to.
okay, when you say those things, you are perpetuating, okay, that same white supremacy. You're perpetuating that same racist ideology. You are perpetuating all of those things, Okay. So whether you believe that you're doing it or not, and honestly, that's totally fine, sir. I can completely believe you that you don't believe that you're racist, that maybe you're not intentionally being racist, that you're not intending to have these racist beliefs. Maybe you're not intending to. Okay. But I am just letting you know that you are. Okay. And
Okay,
sometimes
let me
just
ask the question.
sometimes
Let-
just as
you-
acknowledgement.
You've been talking a lot. Let me ask the question.
Sometimes just as an acknowledgement of that is really important, right? Sometimes if we can just look at the thing and go, you know what? I didn't realize I was looking at it this type of way and I was wrong in doing that, then we can all be better. We can all be better as human beings.
Let me ask you a question. If tomorrow the NBA said that the new people coming into the NBA, 50% of them would have to be white, would the play in the NBA go down or up?
Sure, if they can find 50% of people in the NBA that are equally as qualified to be in the NBA as black people, then the quality would stay the same because they would be equal.
That's not the question I asked.
But
Would
that's
the
the
quality
question I'm answering.
of the NBA go up or down?
Because just like the qualified part is that you seem to keep ignoring, okay, is DEI starts with, is the candidate qualified?
Mhm.
Whether they're white or black or women or gay or whatever comes after being fully qualified. Okay. It is used as a tiebreaker. So if y'all can find a fucking white LeBron James, okay, and say that he needs to be in there, then I am totally okay with you using that as a tiebreaker.
Okay, again, even when you go to college for basketball, there's a lot of people that are
Dude, I am
graded
so tired of
based
hearing.
on their
I am so tired of hearing you talk about basketball. I am just being straight up. I have heard you talk about basketball so much fucking time.
because you know it's a part that's going to destroy your argument.
No,
That's
it's
what I don't
not a
wanna talk
part that's going to destroy my argument
Oh, it
because I've
will.
already
will.
beaten this argument 3 times. Okay.
about. Okay, well then
Look,
I'll just say
sorry.
this then.
I'm sorry. No, please stop
Wow.
saying anything. I've already
man.
beaten
You are so
this argument.
disrespectful, man.
I am disrespectful to disrespectful people. Okay?
Really?
I have
And how-
already
how-
Sir, I have already beaten the argument on the NBA at least 3 times during this conversation. At least 3
You won't
times.
even let me talk about
at
it.
least 3 times. Sir, I have already discussed it in depth and we've discussed the
This is a
differences.
new point that I
All right,
just brought
sir.
up.
How about this? I'm going to finish this statement. If you speak again, I'm hanging up on you.
Wow, man, you're very dictatorial, but okay, go ahead.
I have broken down the NBA argument 3 times. I have beaten you on all times. I have explained how this is no way the same, how it has nothing to do with DEI, how it has nothing to do with affirmative action, how I connected it to slavery and to all sorts of different things. And I say I've talked about the NBA thing 3 fucking times, okay? And you are still going back to it, okay? Which means that you have no will to have a genuine conversation. You have no will to have a genuine dialogue with me about this whatsoever, okay? Because if you did, then you would have moved past this. So since you have no will to have an actual genuine conversation with me, I am going to move on to someone that will, okay? So I hope you have whatever day, all right?
All
All right, cool. Thank you. Dude, if that dude brought up the fucking NBA one more goddamn time. Holy shit, dude. Guys, what about the NBA? Guys, what about the NBA? Guys, what about the NBA? Jesus Christ. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. Hope you guys are having a good time. I know I'm having, I'm having a time. That's for damn sure. We're having a time. If you like to support the live, I do have super chats open. I have super stickers. I have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. And I have a live gift goal that I'm trying to get through today. So if you guys like support, I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. JK, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, by the way, Germany has a big chemical industry, but we still have to import chemicals like hydrogen that would be needed to make fentanyl. Oh, we got Germany in the house. That was a long time ago in this conversation. But thank you so much for the information on Germany's ability to produce fentanyl chemicals. That's actually very informative. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Jennifer, thank you so much for the 279. Said Honduran President Juan was just pardoned. Yeah, he was pardoned. And I think Venezuela immediately put on an arrest warrant for him too, which is what they should have done because the U.S. should have kept him in jail. Crazy to say you're against, drug trafficking and pardon that guy. Absolutely wild. Thank you so much. Megs, thank you so much for the gifted subscription. Heathen, Bear knows I'm the problem. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I appreciate that. Said, thank you for telling that motherfucker off. I needed you to do that today. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Sorry. Hey guys, I I'm not one of these people that's up here just like debating like monotone the whole time. If I got emotion, I'm gonna show it. If you don't like that, maybe this ain't the right live for you, because I'm here to freaking be myself, and if I could have emotion and do all the fun stuff with it. So I'm gonna have fun doing it. If you like it, I hope you enjoy it. If not, that's okay. That's all right too. And Taurus, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Can we get huge W's in chat for Megs, for Jennifer, for Taurus, for Heathen, for all the support? I really appreciate that. For JC, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. That is very, very sweet of all of you guys. Oh, shoot, I actually forgot. Laura, thank you so much for the $5 over on Cash App says, I love you, mijo. Marva, thank you so much for the $10. Allison, thank you so much for the $10. Said guests don't realize the strike zone is pretty fluid based on that the strike zone is pretty fluid based on bias. Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put that. Actually, let me repeat that. Allison said guests don't realize the strike zone is pretty fluid based on your bias. Exactly. For you guys baseball fans, you guys completely understand that reference. That actually makes sense. I'm going to use that. Thank you so much. Also, Sharon, if you're here. Sharon, you totally sent me something on PayPal. I believe it was Sunday night, and I didn't see it till after. And I just want to say I really appreciate that. So hopefully you're here. Also, what is it? Master Sergeant retired over there. Thank you so much for the coral. And somebody else sent me a coral too. Sarah, thank you so much for the coral also. I really appreciate that. All right, let's open up these phone lines. Keep this thing going. I really appreciate that. And we're going to keep this thing moving forward. I need a drink of water. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I just wanted to give you your props on the last caller, brother. That's all. I appreciate how you intellectually took that man down, and it's good that, like, the conversation you had with him. I think that conversation needed to be had. How you just broke it down.
Thank you. I hope I did it okay. Did I do all right? I don't have that conversation very often, but hopefully I did okay for y'all.
You did. I love those kind of conversations. How you break it down, and even when how black people are more like athletic. That just it hit the point on the head. It's like they don't try to comprehend that. So I appreciate it.
No problem. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. All right.
Yeah, you too.
All right, man. Did I do all right? Sorry, you guys know I don't debate in that realm like a whole bunch. So I'm glad to hear I did okay. Hello, how are you?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
You said what?
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yep.
Awesome. Why is that?
Because he's non-pro crime and non-pro inflation.
Non-pro crime and non-pro inflation.
Yeah.
I don't know any president that's pro crime and pro inflation. That would be a pretty wow. Real quick, Mona,
right,
thank
man.
you so
You know
much
what I
for
mean by
becoming.
that.
Thank you so much for becoming a super fan. I really appreciate it. I believe they're still 50% off too. But thank you so much, Mona. If you'd like to become a super fan or a member, I really appreciate you guys. Sorry. Anyways, sorry. What president was pro crime and pro inflation?
He's not for crime. He's not for inflation. And
Neither is any other president, sir.
first term, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, all four of his inflation.
Sir, you're gonna have to get off of MAGA Mobile. You're breaking up.
What do you mean?
I mean, I can't
That's you,
understand all of the words that are coming out of your mouth because your reception is so bad. Then I made a joke about you being on MAGA Mobile, okay?
Oh.
Because your reception is so bad. But I truly cannot have a conversation with you unless I can hear all the words that you're saying, which right now I can't.
Do you hear me?
I can hear you okay right now.
Do you hear me?
Nope,
I heard
nope,
better.
and you're breaking up again.
Are you serious?
Why would I
Hello?
be joking? Do you think
Your
this is
response-
good, sir? Do you think this is good content for me to have to keep telling you that I can't hear you?
But you're responding to everything I'm saying.
You're starting sentences, and I go, what? And then you go, yeah, I think Trump is. That's what it sounds like.
All right, man.
It's insane.
Yeah, it is not good content for me to just keep going, sir, I can't hear you. Okay? That is not enjoyable. Nobody wants to listen to that. Okay? I'm not like trying to get you. Okay? it's not something I enjoy. All right? Hello, how are you?
Hey, brother. Look, I'm not gonna argue with you. I just want to say thank you for what you do. I'm not a MAGA supporter, but I look at your show. I listen to your show. I'm a big fan. I just wanted to say I appreciate you. I don't know how you do it. I could not do it, but thank you. And
I appreciate that. I appreciate
one
that.
last thing. One last thing before I go. You really should have a section so that some of us can call in and just talk to somebody with sanity every once in a while.
I really want to, and I know I've gotten that request, and like I've said before, I tried to do one on Discord one time, nobody showed up. Okay, like I've done like little lives like that, nobody shows up. Okay, so you guys always beg me for it, but then when I do it, nobody shows up. Okay, so like that's all I'm saying. All right, like I have tried multiple times. I have tried multiple times.
I don't get it. I really don't. I just think that it's something that's needed because, like, you know, like I said, I watch the show all the time, and I don't think that people can think that they can really get through, or that you just maybe it's just that they think you just want to argue with like people that don't agree with you or something like that. But I mean, also another thing is maybe some of them can learn something by watching two people that have sanity and have a discourse on something. So I don't know.
Well, how about this for anybody who's here? This is what we'll do. Okay, I'm like I said, I'm switching my new time to 5. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not going to work this week. Shoot, because I'm not gonna be there. So, anyways, we'll do it. What I think is I'll do is the next time I have to go to tennis, where I'm gonna have a shorter live, I'll try to jump on and just do something like that. That's what I'll try to do.
That'll be awesome, and you can take my number down. I don't call me if you just want me. Just need somebody. Call me.
No, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot.
I just want to talk to somebody that has some damn sanity, has some damn reason, some logic behind them, and you know, there's just so much going on. Like a lot of times we're just missing out on things because they're not paying attention. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? They're not actually paying attention to what's going on, and they're just listening to the talking points that they get in their talking bubble. So it's up to us to like kind of have discussion on things that are really in real time happening. And then maybe they can, you know. Yeah.
Well, and just let you know, and I am going to let you go so I can try to get on to another caller. But there are new formats coming in 2026. There are new formats that I'm going to be putting out. There's new formats that I'm going to be putting out with Ari, where we are going to have a lot more of those conversations. So we do have new stuff coming. Awesome. Late, it'll be closer to the midterms, like maybe like this summer. But there is new content and stuff like that coming. So hopefully soon. All right.
I will be plugged in, my friend.
All right, sounds good, man.
In, my friend.
All right, I appreciate that. Hey, you too, brother.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, we will be doing that soon. That is something we're working on. Ari and I are both working on it. So I do really appreciate the patience. All right. Hello, how are you?
What you doing, bro?
It's the same guy. You're breaking up as soon as you say 2 words.
Bro, put me on the
panel. Like I put you on the panel. Are you in a hello? Hello?
Yo. Hello. All right. So wait, you said all right. So listen, do you support Trump or no? Right? You don't support Trump, right?
Yeah. First of all, how old are you?
Wait, chill. All right. So listen, you don't support Trump.
How old are you?
17.
Nope. Sorry. Whenever the conversation starts out like yo, like it's probably a pretty good clue. Hello.
Hello? Yo, I'm in the live. I know you're lying.
I'm in the live. I know you're lying. What are you talking about?
You keep saying
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Bro, y'all are tripping over here. This is dude.
Hey, I'm in
the I didn't even mean to pick up the phone with you. I'm not trying to. Bro, do you need a friend or something, man? Like, maybe you should call one of those, like, those phone lines or something, bro. Like, if you need a friend or something, get a therapist or something, bro. Hello, how are you?
Hey, boss. Before you ask, I'm 25.
Okay. Do you still support Trump?
You know, I did. During his first term, I thought he was great. It eventually, the quality of the leadership and the policies started going down toward the end. But I think he started out really strong in 2016, and for his second term, it was very similar, but the fall off happened a lot sooner too. I was wondering like what your beef was with him, because we might disagree on why exactly he hasn't been doing so well.
First of all, Donald Trump wasn't president in 2016, so that was Obama. Okay. Donald Trump didn't take office until
yeah, you're right.
2017.
It's
Okay.
insane.
No, you're right.
And then
My
Donald
bad.
Trump, when he took office, didn't start strong. He just did nothing. And all the Obama policies that were helping our country for the last 5 years in a row before he came in just kept doing what they were doing. So Donald Trump was successful by doing nothing, by going golfing. Just like he probably would have been a lot more successful in this term if he had done nothing and just gone golfing and let a lot of the policies from the end of the Biden administration just continue to go on, because we were seeing, just the best, economic growth in the industrialized world. We were seeing a lowering inflation rate. We were seeing lowering unemployment rate. We were seeing all those things. But no, Donald Trump had to come in and start putting in policies. And when he put in policies, then he started failing, because Donald Trump's policies suck.
I think his policies, like his enforcement, sucks. Yeah, I agree with you there. But in terms of like positions, I think he started strong in that sense. Maybe we disagree on how they were enforced. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what good things you're referring to that Obama did, besides the statistics that might have shown, like the unemployment rate was going down over the course of Obama's presidency after the Great Recession.
The Great Recession under Bush.
Well, the Great Recession started as a result of some of Bush policies, yes, but it would have ended a lot sooner had Obama not, the stimulus package.
You think a stimulus package freaking ruin a recovery from the 2009 recession? You're insane.
Did I say that?
That's what it sounded like.
If
Yeah,
that's what I said, then I take it back. If that's what I said, because I don't think
sounded like to me. I mean, so we had an economic crash. Like I don't know what you're talking about. Of course, it took a couple years for us to get back on track. Actually, the fact that it only took us 2-3 years to get back on track is a testament to Obama more than anything. But it's just the same thing that happens every time. The Republicans put us into a recession. The Democrats have to pull us out as soon as things start going well. They put another Republican in. We go into another recession, and then you need a Democrat to pull us out, and then you put another Republican in that puts us back into a recession. It's happened time and time again. The last 10 recessions have been under Republican presidents.
But wouldn't the gas prices be like for the standard American? I'm not talking about like for economists and other people who might study this for a living, but for like the average American, the price of gas could be like a good metric for determining like how well things are going in terms of like tax policy and enforcement of that.
Who sets the global price of oil?
The global price of oil?
Yeah.
Is there like an authority who sets it?
Yeah,
Because
well, it's
I thought it
based off of
was
supply and demand and how much oil
Right,
is in the
right.
market, and it's set by OPEC.
Where's OPEC?
The Council of Oil Producing Countries. I forgot what it's called. What's it exactly stand for? Oil Producing something countries.
And they decide the price of gas here in the United States?
Well, they don't decide it. The market decides it. They're the ones who set it. But yeah, when we get oil in, because a lot of our oil comes from overseas, we don't just get that oil from here, right? Then
Right.
then
And that's a problem in
they
itself, right?
well, it's not really a problem in its. I mean, it can be a problem, but regardless of any of that, sir, even in the United States, we see things like big oil that are setting the price, and they set it based off the market. Like they don't set it based off of tax policy. They don't set the price of oil based off of
Well, no, I agree.
off
yeah.
of
But policy has a lot. But tax policy has a lot to do with the price of gasoline in the United States.
No, it does not.
You don't think so?
No, I know so. How does tax policy affect oil? I'm asking you seriously, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Companies. There countries. There you go. I knew it. I wasn't even close.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew what it did. I forgot what it stood for. But regardless of that, sir,
You gotta one up on me anyway.
if I lower taxes for you, how does that make the price of oil go down?
Like, you mean the taxes of like the cost of gasoline, or
Yeah.
you mean in general?
Yeah. How does it make, how does me raising or lowering your individual tax rate or the tax rate of big companies or small businesses or any of that, how does that affect the price of gasoline in this country?
Oh, no. Maybe I didn't communicate that effectively. I mean, like the tax on gas specifically. Isn't there like a federal tax on gasoline across the board for the United States?
Sure. I mean, you're talking like what, less than a cent? It's not going to,
Is it?
yeah,
don't know.
that's not doing that. But I think like most gas taxes are state, not even federal. That's why
I'm
California's,
aware of that,
that's why California's taxes are so high, because they have a very high tax on oil.
Right. But I'm pretty sure there's also a federal one that has a lot to do with that, isn't there?
I don't think there
Like,
is.
doesn't our tariff policy affect the price of gasoline coming into the country?
If we tariff oil. If we were to
Right.
specifically tariff oil, then yeah, I guess that would affect it.
Right, but that's what I'm talking about. Stuff like tariffs, excuse me. And then the federal tax rate on gasoline, wouldn't that affect it more here in the United States than OPEC's?
Again, I don't believe
price
there's a federal
fluctuation.
tax rate on gasoline. I don't believe that's a thing.
I think it is. Yeah, I
All right, let's look it
that's
up.
just something I learned in, like-
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong here. That's fine. Is
So I could be
there
wrong,
a
too.
federal tax?
I learned
on
that
gasoline?
in 8th grade from my history teacher, and I thought like, oh, it's just facts. But if you can tell me it's wrong, then I'll stop saying that. I never looked at
All
it
right, looks like
myself.
there is a federal tax on gasoline. It hasn't changed since 1993.
Oh, what is it at?
18.4 cents per gallon.
18.
So there you go. I was
Interesting.
wrong. I didn't know that.
Well, I was wrong too because I thought it fluctuated. So
No.
I took an L as well.
Yeah, it funds the Highway Trust Fund, and it's used for federal highway and transit projects. So, yep, you pay an 18.4% tax per gallon on gasoline, and it goes directly to highway construction and stuff like that. But regardless of any of that, it hasn't changed since I was 7.
Yeah,
6.
fascinating. I
So-
did not know that. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that's new information. I didn't know that information. So there we go. I didn't know that information either. But regardless of any of that,
Hell
Donald
yeah.
Trump's policy didn't change any of that.
Any of the gasoline prices? I mean, just looking and observing the prices, like why was OPEC stressing the gas prices more when Biden was president
Because of the
than it
OPEC
is
Plus
when
deal.
Trump is president?
Because of the OPEC Plus deal.
Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, sure. So under the Trump administration during COVID, big oil was losing their ass when it came to money, because nobody was moving,
bet.
nobody was traveling, nobody was shipping anything. So the price of oil dropped down to I believe it dropped down to like $0 a barrel. Like it literally dropped
remember
to
that.
like fucking nothing. Yeah, and so the
1 week water was more expensive than oil. It
yeah,
was actually crazy.
it was crazy. So big oil went to the Trump administration and was like, "Hey, we're losing our ass. We need you to freaking go to OPEC and try to help us out here." So Donald Trump went to OPEC, asked them to reduce the amount of oil that was being produced across the world, and they did. They reduced the amount of oil that was being produced across the world by like 10 million barrels a day, with an expiration at the end of 2022. So when COVID reopened, right, and everybody started traveling, everybody started moving, everybody started driving, everything started ordering things, and then there was a super high demand for oil. We actually had less oil in the system because we weren't producing as much oil across the world as we were before. And so therefore, I mean, simple, supply and demand, right? If you have a super high demand for something and less of a supply, what happens to the price?
Of course, it increases.
There you go. And it increased through the roof. And then when did gas prices start coming down again?
We saw some minor changes when Biden opened up the oil reserve.
Yeah.
And then they leveled out after that a little bit, after a slight increase, and then they started dropping back down again after Trump assumed office.
No, they started dropping down in 2023. They started dropping way down in 2023. Actually, up until October, there wasn't a single month in the Trump administration where the average price of gasoline was lower than when he took office.
The average, so like across all 50 states?
Across all 50 states, yes. There was at no point up until the month of October, right, that the price of gas per gasoline was lower than it was when he took office. So when Biden left office, the price of oil was lower. It just started lowering right here in October, and that's just because of of
Well,
winter.
Well, it was COVID when he took office, so of course it was going to be low. But I believe you. On
No,
that
when
average
Biden took
thing.
off, when Biden left office.
Oh, left.
When Biden left office, when Trump took office. I'm sorry, I may have misspoke on that. But regardless, yeah, when the day Trump took office, okay, his oil price, price per gallon was higher the entire time until October. So for 10 months. And now it's starting to lower out because it lowers out in winter because it lowers out every winter.
Right. But what if the prices retain this level?
They won't.
Like throughout the year.
They won't.
Well, what if they do though?
What if a flying spaghetti monster comes down and fucking sprinkles Parmesan across all of us in all of his glory, right? No, gas prices go up as it gets warmer. That's just what happens. The gas price will go up when it gets warmer. It just will. Like I mean, and even if even if it did, right? You would have to point me to something that Donald Trump is doing to bring that gas price down, right? Which isn't existent right now. I mean, like,
I agree.
Literally the only thing that he's like even attempting to do with gas prices is invade Venezuela.
Well, and the tariffs, right? Which
he's never tariffed oil.
Well, but that's my point.
Well, it wasn't tariffed before. He's not doing anything.
Well, I know that. I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying. Is if he decided to tariff it, then he would be doing something about it as well.
Right, just like he's doing with the rest of consumer prices, and that's why they're all higher.
Well, okay, hold up. Did the Trump tariff schedules even go through? I thought he bitched out on that.
Some of them did, some of them didn't. Depending on which country and which tariff, and some of them did, some of them didn't.
Well, because the last I checked, he totally pussied out on actually applying the shit he said he would do, and I was pretty upset at him over that.
He did. He tacoed on some of them, but he didn't taco on all of them, right? This is why we have like incredibly high price within the auto industry. Cars are through the roof due to the tariffs, that's for sure. We see grocery prices are through. Consumer goods as a whole are up. We have CEOs.
Is that just on foreign cars, or is that on American?
No, on American cars too.
Why would the price for American cars go up if foreign prices go up?
Because lots of parts that are made in American are put into American cars are made in places like Mexico and Canada.
So wouldn't Trump be smarter to do more for the manufacturing sector of America?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question.
Like if we were more predisposed, if we were more disposed to like a more manufacturer friendly economy, then that problem would fix itself, would it not? Like, since we have a debt-based mommy state, we can't get there, and Trump isn't doing crap to fix that, is my point.
You see, we have a debt-based economy. We don't have a debt-based economy. We have a consumer-based economy.
Well, when consumers buy big things, what do? They go into debt.
I mean, not always, right? But regardless of any of that, sir, you're saying, sir, you're just saying a lot of ifs. You're like, if we had never lost manufacturing in this country, would that be different? Well, yeah, sure, it would be. I mean, cars would still be more expensive, but regardless, but we didn't. We're not doing that. Manufacturing isn't coming back. We've lost a million jobs this year. Manufacturing jobs are seething out of this country currently with Donald Trump's tariff policies, right? The unemployment rate just rose to 4.6%. No, it is the tariff policies. It's exactly the tariff policies.
It's not just it's a more nuanced issue than that.
It's not. No, it's not. We had record job growth. We had record job growth last year, right? And then Donald Trump implemented tariffs, and now we're having record job loss. It's truly not more nuanced than that.
Well, no. I think if that's true, I'm assuming you're not lying to me. Then yeah. My point is that to the detriment of Trump, he's doing nothing for manufacturing here in the U.S. because he's not America first.
I completely agree, but yeah, his tariffs aren't doing anything. When you have things like the USMCA, right? I don't know if you're familiar with that.
The USMCA, isn't that the deal he brokered between Canada, Mexico, and the United States?
Absolutely, that's what it stands for. United States Mexico Canada Agreement. That's usually what it stands for. It was the thing that took over for NAFTA, right after NAFTA expired, right? Literally, NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, right? So when we had free trade with these countries like Mexico, countries like Canada, right? And so we're producing parts in this country that are going to Canada for their things or whatever. They're producing, parts that are being used in things like our cars, right? We're all helping produce things for each other, right? So things that are made in Canada are using American parts and Mexican parts, and things in the United States are being used with Mexican and Canadian parts, right? And so you have the ability for one company to make, one company in the United States to make alternators for all these different type of things, and then sell them to United States companies, to Canadian companies, to Mexican companies, to all of these things. People, right? And then Donald Trump comes in and says that the USMCA is the worst deal that was ever made, even though he was the one who brokered it, right? And then gets rid of it, and now all of a sudden we have huge tariffs on people that we just had free trade with. Well, then, yeah, all the prices for all of those things are going to go up. And they're not going to retool factories and just start making factories in the United States because of that. It's just not how things work.
Well, but the markets would eventually correct.
Yeah, all the prices.
Yeah, maybe 30, 40, 50 years down the road, maybe, if nothing changed.
Well, but what else are we doing for the manufacturing? Because whether we agree or not that tariffs are the correct prescription for the problem, isn't that the only thing that's been happening for the past 4 presidents?
No, absolutely not. We had booms in manufacturing. We just had booms in different types of manufacturing, right? We had things like the Chips and Sciences Act, which created hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs when it came into the chip sector from TSMC, to that produced manufacturing jobs paying 6 figures and only needed a high school diploma. They built a huge factory in Arizona. They had scheduled to build 6 more, right? They had done things like subsidized things like electric vehicles to help boost the electric vehicle market, with the permission of the UAW and all sorts of other things, right? To help produce more electric cars in the United States, to try to boost the market, try to isolate them from foreign electric cars and things like Toyota and stuff like that. That produced a lot of car manufacturing. And again, all of these parts need to be, produced and things by different people and stuff like that. So we saw big booms in manufacturing under the Biden administration. Now, if you're saying, are we moving to a point of being a complete manufacturing country again? No, that's not going to happen, right? That we're not moving to a complete manufacturing company unless our entire, economic system completely crashes and we have to completely retool the whole thing. But that's going to be much worse for everybody at that point.
No, yeah, I would agree with you there. And most of those things you named are America first. I'm with you on that one. But unfortunately, thanks to Trump's H-1B policies, a lot of it's going to foreign labor, not to mention illegal immigration.
Yeah. No, I mean, you do have a certain amount of jobs that are being taken, but really when it comes to undocumented migrants, I mean, they're not the ones that are working in these TSMC factories, right? They're not the ones working for the UAW. UAW is unionized, right? No,
they usually work for Big Ag, right? And
they work for lots of different places. They do work for agriculture. They work for construction. They work for all sorts of things, hospitality, a lot of things within hospitality, right? And and they work in all sorts of industries and stuff like that. But when we're talking about these manufacturing jobs are not going to, even really immigrants as a whole, but specifically not undocumented immigrants.
Well, maybe for the chips, like the programming jobs or chip construction, like manufacturing. A lot of in the tech industry, whether it be big tech or little tech, a lot of it goes to foreign labor.
I'm sorry, I totally just dropped something and I missed that last part. What'd you say?
Hey, no sweat. Big tech and little tech, they're selling out to foreign labor. They're not positioning to be America first.
Well, that's why it's so important that we did do tariffs on things like technology, right? Like semiconductors, like chips and stuff like that, right? That's why we had specifically tariffs in those sectors to force them to come back here, because that's important from a national security standpoint. That's important from a manufacturing standpoint. It's important for lots of things to not, be dependent on things like Southeast Asia for chip manufacturing. So that's why that's so important, right? So we are bringing it back. Biden did a whole bunch of that. Even Donald Trump has bragged completely about, things like AI chips and stuff like that, where there's been specific investment from people like Apple when it comes to those type of technologies. So the H-1B visa thing is kind of separate from that, right? We do have an H-1B visa issue, but most of that has to do with labor laws, or more the side skirting of labor laws from U.S. companies when it comes to their migrant workforce, right?
I would agree.
Yeah, I would agree. But Donald Trump hasn't really done anything to address that besides just get rid of H-1B visa completely, or charge $100,000 for them, which doesn't fix the problem, right? It just creates it might fix that problem by having no H-1B visa people, but it completely creates a whole nother problem because now we're losing all of those skilled and technical workers that are the people that train American workers and help to develop things for American workers, right? And develop processes or bring processes from other places. And then it ends up hurting our American industry. It hurts our technology sector. And then it actually forces these companies to then have to go overseas because they can't get the people that they need here.
But you sound like a populist, Paulie. Would you consider yourself a populist?
I don't know if I've ever been asked that question. I don't know. Let's ask the chat, guys. Am I a populist? We'll let the chat make that decision. I'm not sure. I've never really thought of myself as a populist, but I guess I can kind of see it a bit. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys tell me. No, not really. No. All right. I guess I'm not.
Well, I'll tell you what. A lot of what you said there was a lot of populist stuff. I liked a lot what I was hearing. I got to give you props.
I'm seeing a few yeses. There's not no yeses. I think it's like 70-30 right now. Go ahead, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Hey, no sweat. But, so if is it just economic then? The points that you disagree with Trump on?
I disagree with Trump as an entire stance as a human being.
Like you think we'd be better off if he had never existed?
Well, I mean, that sounds kind of.
Well, when you say as a human being, like that's what I think, right?
Well, I don't think he's a good human being at all, right? I don't think anybody who brags about sexually assaulting people or sexually assaults people is a good person. I don't believe anybody who steals from children or talks about immigrants is like the poison that's in the blood of the country. Yeah, stuff like that. Who quotes Hitler? I don't think people that that refer to their political enemies as domestic terrorists or what's up.
Just because he was quoting Hitler doesn't mean he's incorrect.
But he is incorrect.
Can you explain that?
You think immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country?
Well, I mean, the country has been historically biracial for its entire existence. Don't you think, like, putting in people that are from a completely different culture would fundamentally change how the country looks? I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah, we've constantly been changed over the entire course of this country by immigrants. Okay, just because immigrants change the culture of a country, right? Because they always have. Again, this country used to just be indigenous people, and it was changed significantly by white people. But just because it changes, it doesn't mean it's poisoning the blood of it. There's a difference between understanding that there are changes that are made, right? Like there are a whole bunch of Mexican restaurants in my town, right? That I live in. I live in a very small town. I don't see that as a bad thing just because it's a change of our culture, and so I'm not just eating British food or whatever, peas or whatever they eat, right? So I'm not eating that. That's a change to the culture. It's a good change, right? It's not a poisoning the blood. It's not a change that is that is hurtful to the United States, right? Just like we have immigrants from all across the world that come here, right? Like, I mean,
well, but that implies that everyone who comes here has something positive to add, and that's not always the case.
Well, not everybody even here has something positive to add. You can't make it a monolith, right? You can't make it. You can't say if not 100% of the people have something to add, then therefore nobody has something to add. I'm not giving 100% of anything.
Right. And I would agree with you there. But the people that are coming and bringing net negatives, they would literally be poisoning the blood of the country.
Yeah, but sir, that's not.
But your idea of who the poisoners are is different.
I think you're trying to sane wash this argument. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that we stay right here on it. Okay, sir, Donald Trump's saying that immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country. He is saying that all immigrants, okay, are a net negative as a whole to this country. Immigration as a whole is a net negative to this country. I am saying that immigration is not a net negative to this country. Now, are certain immigrants, like individuals, net negatives? Yes, just like Donald Trump is a net negative to this country. Okay. Donald Trump as an individual is a net negative to this country. Does that mean that I think that all white men are net negatives to this country? Well, there's an argument to be made for that, but I'm not saying it. Okay. I am saying like that. And that's the difference, right? Am I saying that there are not bad people? Of course there are bad people. There are of course bad people. Okay, but that there's a big difference between speaking as all immigrants as a monolith, okay, and speaking about individual people. That was a joke, by the way. Now get all your panties in a bunch, okay? I was just joking.
You talking to chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. Yes, on an individual basis, but we gotta. Part of what you and I might disagree on is that not all cultures are equal. Some cultures are worse than other cultures, and so when you bring in worse cultures than the American one, then yes, that as a whole, that certain people would be a negative to the country. No,
They're not bad cultures and good cultures. There's just culture.
well, sure there are. Come
No,
on.
there's not.
In Papua New Guinea, you know, the natives over there were doing. I don't want to get you, you know, stricken or anything on YouTube, but they were doing some pretty bad stuff over there to little boys as part of a, like, you know,
You mean like the
initiation ritual.
You mean like the Catholic Church does every day?
Okay, well, American public schools do that a lot more than the Catholic Church does, so that's a weird segue. But
I'm just
no,
saying.
talking
I mean,
about
who?
cultures.
I mean,
You're
who?
talking about a profession. I'm talking about cultures.
Okay, well,
Two
let's
different
talk.
things.
Well, then let's talk about who does the majority of the pedophilia in the United States. What group of people is that?
I don't want to get you struck.
That's okay. It's white
Or-
men, straight white men. Straight white men
Well, are you
do the
including
majority,
Ashkenazis
sir,
in that group?
sir. Straight white men do the majority of the
Well, they're
pedophilia
also the majority of the
in this country.
population.
So is that saying that white people is a bad culture?
Well, they're also the majority of the population.
So that means
So,
they're a
like, of
bad
course.
culture, right?
Well, not necessarily. Do you think we live in a rape culture like the Congo?
So there's not a rape culture. Okay. Is there an issue with sexual assault in certain places? Yes, there's an issue with sexual assault here. Okay.
Right,
This is
yeah,
not a
but
bad,
it
sir.
can be
It's not a
bigger
matter,
in
sir.
other
See,
places.
sir.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little excited. My bad.
You're not getting excited. You're just being a horrible person.
Whoa,
Okay.
what horrible person. We've been doing great this whole time.
No, I've been doing great. You've been showing your true colors. Okay.
Whoa.
There's a big difference.
What?
Yeah. The Congo is not a culture. Sir, the Congo is a country. Okay. And you saying that they have a rape culture in the Congo is xenophobic, right? That's
Well,
what that
there's nothing
is.
necessarily
Okay,
wrong
sir.
with xenophobia. I'm sorry.
There's
I know.
nothing-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's fine, sir. I have no problem. Like I said, I very much prefer my bigots to be open about it.
Well, okay, but like, is being xenophobic a moral wrong? Like, why would I want more people here that aren't a part of the culture already? Why is that a bad thing?
Well, you're making this example that as if you're part of the culture.
What do you mean? Like, which culture?
I mean, what culture are you a part of?
Well, I'm American.
Okay, so you're indigenous to this country?
Yes, I am.
You're an indigenous person, so you want all white people gone.
Why would I want that?
Well, I mean, because you want to return apparently return the culture to its original culture, and you don't want no change in that culture, so you want all white
Well,
people gone.
no. Well, no. Well, remember, we weren't talking about original. We were talking about better and worse.
Yeah. Do you think that white people added to the culture of indigenous people in this country? Do you think they were a net
Certainly, yeah,
positive?
without a doubt.
Oh, right. When they
Yeah.
committed genocide? You think committing genocide
Or-
is a net positive to a country?
Well, I didn't say net positive. You asked if they changed it. Yes, the answer would be obvious.
Yeah, I said change
Of
it to a
course they did.
positive, sir. I said change it to a positive. Did they have a positive impact? Did white people coming here, spreading disease and committing a genocide and doing a lot of the sexual assault stuff to the native people here, is that a net positive as a culture?
To which culture?
To the American culture, the indigenous American culture that was here.
No, it was not a positive for them. The Anglo-Protestant way of life was definitely not a positive for the indigenous people.
Oh, okay,
I agree
cool.
with you.
So everything after that, okay, has been a culture that is constantly changing by negatives, right? You brought over just different types of, well, pretty much just different types of white people, okay, who have all added more negatives to that culture.
And sub-Saharans. Don't
Okay.
forget.
So a whole bunch of white people that have just added a bunch of negatives. They had things like slavery. That was a big negative culture, unless you're going to argue that with me.
No.
That was
I wouldn't argue- no,
perpetuated
of course
throughout
not.
this country, right? So American culture hasn't been exactly this thing that has been this like bastion of morality. It has been this culture
No,
of
no, I wouldn't say
superiority,
it was-
right?
I wouldn't say
And
it
now
was.
all of a
I wouldn't say it
sudden,
was.
right? You're trying to be like, oh well, we need to keep the bad people out. Sir, the bad people are already here. Okay, the bad people are already here, right? Adding people from other countries doesn't make this country worse. It makes this country more American. I mean, actually, I think Reagan actually said it the best, right? You can move to Japan and you will never be Japanese. You can move to Germany and you will never be German. The United States is the only country that you can move to where you can actually come there and be American regardless of where you're from. That is the one unique thing. No, Reagan was not wrong. Reagan was wrong about a whole bunch of shit, but Reagan wasn't wrong about this one. Okay, Reagan was wrong about a whole bunch of shit, but this wasn't the one that he was wrong on. Okay, that is what makes this country great. This country is freaking amazing because of all the different cultures and all the different people that come here. All the different immigration things that happen in this country is what make America great. And people that are trying to go against that, I believe, should really go back to wherever their ancestors came from so they can live in a homogenous society away from me, because I want people of different societies to be here with me and actually be American, because trying to make this a homogenous nation is the most anti-American thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, the nation was never homogenous.
Yeah, it was.
It was biracial at its base. It was never homogenous.
It was homogenous.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it was.
Well, when did chattel slavery start? When did the transatlantic slave trade start?
It was homogenous before that. Yeah.
Well, homogenous brown, as in indigenous.
Yeah, exactly.
And then biracial when the Europeans showed up. And then after they genocided the indigenous, it was still biracial because of the North Atlantic slave trade. So historically speaking, the country's been biracial until the flow of immigrant waves.
I like how you forget the part where we just drew a line around where Mexico was and created states like California and Arizona and like parts of Texas, where literally it was just Mexico one day and then it was the United States the next day.
Well, I know. Yeah, no, those people became American the day America slid beneath their feet.
Oh, so now all of a sudden we're past biracial and to triracial, and I guess we're just going to say race, and we're going to say it as white people and disclude the fact that the Irish came over here at a certain time, the Polish came over here at a certain time, the Germans came over here at a certain time, that there was all sorts of different things like that.
No, Polly, you're taking my words and twisting them. I said
you're doing that pretty well on your own.
No, Polly, I said biracial for most of its history, and now you're saying I said was biracial always and should stay biracial.
No, I actually just said it was never homogenous, and I explained how it was homogenous. That was it.
Well, no, but you just explained how it wasn't homogenous because you started listing off all the people that came in. So, no, that's not true either.
No, actually, I was just talking about it being indigenously homogenous.
In the sense that the people who were born here have always been of the same stock?
Of the same stock. Wow, this turned real dark real quick, didn't it?
Well, I meant, you know what I mean, the same background.
No, I fucking don't.
What? Polly, we're doing really well. I don't see how you're switched to bad faith.
Sir, I think I'm the one who gets to decide whether we're doing well or not. You just continually saying it is the exact opposite of that. Okay,
you're right. This is your
but
show.
I mean, you already did say that you have no problem with quoting Hitler, especially if it's right. So I guess it doesn't surprise me that you're calling people stock.
It's again not what I said. You're twisting my words again. You keep arguing in bad faith. We're trying to shit talk Trump right now. And I think.
Oh no, sir! I'm not shit talking Trump. I'm shit talking you.
Okay, well, what did I do? Come on, man.
Besides being incredibly racist, xenophobic, and mostly just wrong.
Okay, well, but you never explained why xenophobia is wrong.
Besides all that, see, that's where, like, see, when you say stuff like that, see, that hits the nail right there on the head. Where I'm like, see, bad person, see, right there. When you say like, how is being xenophobic wrong? Like, dude,
please explain.
Oh, dude, I have so many better things to do with my fucking day than explain to a xenophobe why xenophobia is wrong. You should instead, okay, I don't know, just go someplace else and leave me alone.
Really? Ollie, come on.
All right, cool. That's enough racists for the day. Okay? You know, that's the one thing that you can say about this live. Y'all, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. That is the one thing. You know, every time I get on this live, you just never know what kind of day it's going to be. You just never know. You just never know. I could be talking about economics all day, or I could just be talking to racists all day. You never know. Isn't that crazy? Isn't this a wild world we live in? It is a wild world that we live in. You just never know. Goodness freaking gracious. Lori, thank you so much for the marshmallow. I appreciate that. Danielle, thank you so much for the sun balloon. I appreciate that. Megs, thank you so much for the $5. Says Trump is pro-crime. He's literally a criminal. Yeah, literally a criminal. It's wild. It's all you talk about though. I literally haven't talked race in like months. Y'all are fucking wild. Anyways, Disassociate, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, what percentage of your calls in estimate result in some technical errors such as dropped call, mic issues, etc.? Do you log track your calls? I don't do any of that. No, I do zero of that. I have no idea of that number. I do not have a clue. I don't know. Guess a little bit about most of the people just hang up when they hear my voice and they don't hear it over the live because they don't realize it's like immediate. They just hang up the phone. That's usually what it is. Thank you so much, Disassociate. And VJ, thank you so much for the $3. I really appreciate that. AMZ, thank you so much for the happy poop. I appreciate that. Lori, thank you so much for the marshmallow. And Brilliant, thank you so much for the $5. Said, talk to a Republican long enough and the racism and bigotry eventually shows. Either that or they really get into talking about genitalia. That is also a thing that they do.
It's insane.
They get to talking about genitalia. Patricia? Yes, I got it. Sorry, I was not getting notifications yesterday. I saw it. I sent it a little like today. I think I thought I did. Oh no, it wouldn't let me for some reason. Oh, I did. I sent a little like today. If that's you, Patricia, thank you so much for the Venmo. I really appreciate that. And thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. I saw it late, so I just sent like a little like heart on the thing to hopefully let you know I got it. And Sister Mary, thank you, said, what a night. What a night is right. What a night is right. I guess if I come on an hour and a half earlier, it brings off a whole new breed of people. Whole new stock of people, you could say. Sorry, that was a bad joke. 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 I shouldn't have made it. Okay? I shouldn't have made it. All right? I take that one back. Dude, guys, if you don't joke about it, then it'll just hurt your feelings, right? If you don't joke about it, then it just gets depressing. Okay? If you don't joke about it, then it just gets depressing, right? If sorry guys, I'm gonna joke about these things because it's if not, I'll just freaking make you go crazy. So, anyways, Tara, thank you so much for the surfer. I appreciate that. Yeah, straight up lioness. That caller was bad stock. That caller was bad stock. I will say that definitely. Anyway, hi Tara. Hi, how are you? New live time. We're doing this early now. Anyways, I've been on for about 2.5 hours, so I'm going to get off for the night. I'll be back on tomorrow at 5:30 Central. That is my new time now, 5:30 Central. So we'll be back on tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoy the new time. Hopefully you guys can come by and say hi. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Love you guys so much. And thank you guys always so much for being here and for all the support. All right. See you guys later. Bye.